When a pitcher dominates on the mound at big moments, the catcher is often an afterthought. Any one player that lives in the bottom half of your lineup is many times overlooked. But for 11 seasons and almost 1,100 games, the Phillies starting catcher was way more than an afterthought. He was that vital part that lifts a team to its highest point. And today, Chooch steps back behind the plate that will always be his home. Yesterday, Carlos Ruiz emerged from the Seattle Mariners clubhouse to a very different look, a look of Citizens Bank Park as a visiting player. His teammates greeted him, the fans greeted him. It was a great embrace. And today, he'll be back behind the plate for the Seattle Mariners in Game 2 of this very brief two-game series. Hi, everybody. I'm Tom McCarthy. I'll be joined in just a little bit by John Kruk and Greg Murphy. It's a beautiful day for baseball here at Citizens Bank Park, and this is usually the kind of day that Carlos Ruiz, when he was in a Phillies uniform, would have off. But now he's a backup catcher for the Seattle Mariners, so he catches on this day game. And the fans here at the ballpark are going to embrace him just like they did when he was a player here in Philadelphia. He told Brad Lidge, throw me your best slider, and he did. And that helped clinch the 2008 World Championship for the Phillies. There were so many big pieces to the puzzle for the Phils, and maybe for a short time, Carlos Ruiz was a small piece to the puzzle, but as we've come to find out, he was one of the biggest pieces that helped the Phils take the next step to becoming world champions. Ruiz came up as a second baseman, but then emerged as a very dominant defensive catcher, helping the Phils to the World Championship. He was an All-Star in 2012, joining Papelbon and Cole Hamels, and he caught 4 no-hitters during the course of his career. Only Jason Varitek matches that number. It was great to see him yesterday, and Greg Murphy had a chance to catch up with the former Phillies backstop.
Well, it has been a little bit of a time, but Carlos Ruiz is back here in Philadelphia. It's good to see you, first of all. I know the last 24 hours for you has been kind of a whirlwind. Tell us a little bit about it. I know you slept in your own bed last night, right?
Yeah, definitely. Actually, I'm real to see you too, and I'm real happy to be here today. Actually, happy to come back home. Like you said, be in bed, that was huge. So, try to enjoy those 3 days here, and I can't wait to come today to the ballpark. So now I'm here and try to enjoy.
You said when you arrived in Seattle, you looked at the schedule and you saw the 2 dates in Philadelphia and immediately thought to yourself, I can't wait to get back to Philadelphia. Why? What is the connection? Why the strong connection between the fans here in Philadelphia and yourself, do you think?
I mean, they're real special to me. They mean a lot, in my career. The fans, they support, myself, my teammate. The time when I was here, and that was big for me, and it was something that I never forget. So that's one of the reasons that I'm so happy, when I saw those 2 games here in Philly. And spend time with you guys and for the fans, with the city. I mean, that was special. So they're always going to be in my heart because, I have a lot of good memories over here. And we do, 08, we went the World Series, we did it together. And that was big. So I'm really excited.
Have you allowed yourself to think about the moment when you get introduced for the first time again by Dan Baker? Have you thought about what that might be like? You've seen it with some former teammates. Have you thought of what it'll be like for you?
I mean, I always think about that, like I said, we were real close today, and I can't wait to see all the fans here, and I can't wait to see everybody. So I know they're going to be a special day, and I mean, every day it was special for me, but like today, I think it was more special because, all the passion that I love that I have with this city, and that was big. So I'm really excited.
Well, I can tell you that they are excited as well. It's great to see you. Welcome home. Good luck this weekend. Guys, back upstairs.
All right, Murph, thank you very much. Yep, Carlos Ruiz back in the lineup today. He's catching Giovanni Gallardo, making his 7th start of the season. Zach Eflin still looking for his first win, making his 5th start. When we return, we'll have lineups and first pitch. Phillies baseball is brought to you by Xfinity. Xfinity X1 will change the way you experience TV. By Toyota. Find your favorite model today. Toyota, let's go places. By Citizens Bank, official bank of the Phillies. Visit citizensbank.com. And by Independence Blue Cross. Live fearless. Learn more at ibx.com. Up this brief homestand and this 2-game series against the Mariners. Let's take a look at the Mariners lineup, brought to you by Xfinity. Xfinity X1 will change the way you experience TV. Well, Robinson Cano is back in the lineup, hitting 3rd. He tested his quad earlier today in batting practice and felt good. So the lineup is pretty much the same except for Carlos Ruiz. He's catching today and batting 8th, and Giovanni Gallardo, can't sleep on him as a hitter, and he'll bat 9th. There's Zach Eflin, good start to the year. Even though he doesn't have a victory, he's gone 7 innings in each of his last 4 starts. He has no wins, no losses, an ERA of 2.42.
There's a scouting report on Zach Eflin. Averages 92, change curve slider, 14.5 pitches an inning, and I firmly believe that Pete Buchanan hopes he goes at least 7.
First pitch of the day is swung on and missed, and we're underway. Pete was kind of talking about that today when he was trying to figure out his bullpen, about who the closer's going to be, who the setup guy's going to be, and he said, well, let's hope that Zach goes 7 or 8 today. Fastball in there, 0-2. Segura was 3 for 6 in last night's game.
But this is what Segura did last night. He get 0-2 and then he'd punch something the other way or get jammed and bloop one into center.
Off the hands, over to first base. Tommy Joseph will run it over, 1 away. All right, Johnny, time now for our Nissan keys to the game.
Well, the offense keep rolling. They scored 9 runs last night. And, the offense is going good. Of course, Altera's on a tear. And then Zach Eflin, he's got to be big today. He can't turn it over to the bullpen in the 5th inning and expect a great outcome.
Yeah, because last night they used Mark Leiter, who's one of their long men. They can use Jake Thompson, but
Ramos only pitched to one hitter or 2 hitters.
Here's Gamble. He was a difference maker last night.
Didn't get him out.
He has a multi-hit. He's had multi-hit games in 6 of the last 12, hitting .362. And he pulls that one to right field, and he'll add to that here. A leadoff single, 5th hit of the series for Gamble. Well, and he's only playing because of the injury to Mitch Haniger, who was one of the league leaders in hitting before he went out with his oblique injury.
Well, and that's the thing. This is why we talk about Zach Eflin has to be great. This is a really good, potent offense that the Seattle Mariners have. The only advantage you have is Nelson Cruz isn't playing again today because he's basically their DH, and so he doesn't really play in the interleague games. Pinch hits, of course, he pinch hit last night and got a base hit, but this is still a great offense that the Seattle Mariners have.
There's Robinson Cano, who was 2 for 3 before taking himself out because of the injury yesterday. No balls in 1 strike. First home run here at Citizens Bank Park. He's now homered in 27 ballparks, which I guess shouldn't come as a surprise because he's hit 285 home runs as a second baseman.
Is that going to be the trivia question? What, 3?
That could be the trivia question. We could amend it. It wasn't, but that's a good one. Quick toss over to first, and Gamble is back.
Try to help you all out.
Extra base leaders, active leaders, 805. That's a pretty special class right there. No balls and 1 strike. Inside, 1-1.
Good pitch there. Did you see that home run Carlos Beltran hit last night?
I did.
Wow.
Talk about a guy that just keeps on going, huh?
That swing's going to last until he decides to hang him up. And when his knees are just done enough, he can't participate anymore as well as he can.
His average is down this year, but still, at 40 years old, 424 home runs and 544 doubles for his career. 1 ball, 1 strike to Cano. And he rips that one past Tommy Joseph into right field. Gammel's on his way to third. It's kicked for a moment by Saunders. And it'll be runners on first and third with 1 man down. I guess the quad's okay, at least to hit. And now Kyle Seager's coming up.
Was it the right quad? I mean, look, this is typical Robinson Cano. He knows where the hole is. He knows that Cesar has to play in double play defense, and Tommy Joseph's holding Gamel on. It's just an easy. He'll get out in front of one, hook one down and left, down in between first and second. Now you got the first and third. And, you know, we want to keep our offense rolling, but it looks like Seattle's planning on keeping theirs going too.
Yeah, the Phillies last night scored 9 runs and picked up 11 hits. They had 7 walks, and they lost the game 10-9. Seager takes upstairs 1-0. Seager's in 6 straight.
Well, if it's Robinson Cano's right quad, throw over a couple times, make him push off, try to get him out of the line. Of course,
yeah, needle him a little bit.
Motter came in for him, and he hits a big double down the line off of Hector.
There's a high fly ball to right field. It's deep. Saunders going back. Looks like he has room. It'll score a run. The catch is made. Scoring from third is Gamel. And the Mariners take a 1-0 lead here in the first.
Caught a break there.
Sure
Seager
did.
just got underneath that one.
And now Danny Valencia is coming up.
Now if you Zach Eflin, you just keep 1 run. That's fine. That's what we couldn't do last night. Stay out of the big inning. We had a couple big innings. They had too many.
Valencia was 0 for 4 last night, but he walked twice. That's the thing for both of these teams. They have a number of guys that were up 6 times in the game, in a 9-inning game. That's a lot of offense.
A lot of bad pitching too. But I guess the offense made it look worse than it probably was. But man, both teams came out swinging.
Way outside, 1 ball, 1 strike.
You know, I've watched Valencia hit. You know, he was with Oakland, he was with Baltimore, Minnesota. I think he was with Minnesota. And I've never seen him like he's got a nice little bail going right now. Which, if you would assume if you could hit the outside corner. Remember the one he cued to Eichhoff, couldn't come up with it.
Well, they go inside and he misses that. It's 1-2.
That ain't a good sign.
No.
Well, you can't hit the pitch away. You're looking in. You can't hit that one either. That's a great location, just off the plate. Probably if he hits it foul.
Eflin's last start, he went 7 innings. He did scatter 9 hits and 3 earned runs. He left after 7 with the score tied. Fastball on the outside corner, strike 3 call. Well, that was a pretty pitch. Picked up his first strikeout. The Mariners, though, do score a run on the sac fly by Seager. We'll head to the bottom of the first. Mariners 1, Phillies coming up. You know you're a popular figure in the city of Philadelphia when the fanatic is waiting for you just to get a little bit of a hug. That's it. Carlos Ruiz greeting the fanatic as he came in, and then the fanatic, well, there's a little cynicism in the fanatic at all times. Carlos laughs as the fanatic goes to his knees. I thought he was going to do a little horse carriage that he usually does when he's introduced. There's Carlos getting a chance to start here this afternoon, and he's batting 8th for the Mariners. Talking to Cesar Hernandez and the home plate umpire Chad Fairchild.
I got a feeling there's going to be a lot of conversations at home plate today.
I would agree. Cesar 1 for 4 last night with a couple of runs. He also walked in the game. And Giovanni Gallardo, who's 4-0 against the Phils for his career, is about ready to deliver the first pitch of the day for the Mariners, and it's in there for a strike. Cesar overall hitting .331, 4 home runs, 10 runs batted in. And that one's lined out towards center field. Dyson got a good jump, and it's going to hang up there for him. The rest of the Phillies lineup brought to you by Xfinity. Xfinity X1 will change the way you experience TV. Well, a little bit of an adjustment. Odubel's batting second and Altair third, so they flip-flopped. Saunders is batting cleanup because Maikel Franco is out of the lineup. Andres Blanco is playing third base and batting 6th. And then Andrew Knapp gets to do the catching today. And he'll bat 8th for the Phils.
And this gives Franco 2 days with the off day tomorrow to just, this is one of those things where you probably would tell him, look, don't take BP. We don't want you hitting. Just forget about hitting.
0 for his last 14 and 1 for his last 16 as Odubel takes a pitch high. Pete had been fiddling with an idea of changing the middle of his order, the number 3 spot in particular. The number 3 spot has produced 10 extra base hits this year for the Phils. He'd like a little more production from that area. 1-1 to Odubel Herrera. I don't know where he was going, but he was on his way.
Yeah, he might have watched some softball last night or yesterday afternoon. He thought, maybe, I'm going to try that slapping thing.
I don't know if that's a good idea.
The wild world of Odubel.
1-2. He did have 2 hits last night, including the double to right field. That was an absolute seed. Balls and 2 strikes. Ground ball right side. Robinson Cano throws out Herrera. 4-3 on the putout. Well, Gallardo comes in with a record of 1-3, an ERA of 4.46. He's had a good start and then a bad start, then a good start, bad start. So it's kind of got back and forth. And our AARP getting to know Giovanni Gallardo looks like this.
Average fastball velocity that seems to me really high, 92.1. Curve change slider. He's modified his windup. He's pitching more like the modified stretch, like a lot of pitchers are doing now. And you mentioned it, Tom, he can't rest on his offense. A guy can swing the bat.
No balls and 1 strike to Altair, who was 2 for 5 last night with a 3-run home run. Swing and a miss, and it's 0-2. Scott Service was saying the other day that they have been impressed with Gallardo's velocity, how he's kept it consistent this year. They acquired him from the Baltimore Orioles in January for Seth Smith, and he's the only starting pitcher that was supposed to be in their rotation at the beginning of the year that is actually in the rotation right now, because they've been banged up with some injuries. 2-2.
Well, Iwakuma was supposed to start yesterday, and he got scratched.
And now he's been put on the DL. And they don't know how long he'll be out, because it was a knee issue that put him on the DL, but now he told him that his shoulder's bothering him also.
Oh, that ain't good.
2 balls, 2 strikes. Swing and a miss. Gallardo's always had a good curveball, and he gets the Phillies down in order here in the first. 1 in the books. We'll head to the second. Mariners on top, 1-0. And save money when you combine your home and auto insurance. Talk to an agent today or call 800-STATE-FARM. You could save hundreds when you combine home and auto. State Farm, here to help life go right. Boy, just absolutely gorgeous day. A little cool today as we begin the top of the second. And the first pitch to Heredia. He woke up ready to swing this morning. It's 0-1. He had 2 hits last night also for the Mariners.
We can pretty much go down the lineup and say if they got 6 at bats, most of them got 2 hits. There's another.
Right over the top of Blanco. That's the 3rd hit of the day for the Mariners. A leadoff single. And here comes Gerard Dyson. Dyson had 1 hit last night in 5 at bats and an RBI. Funny, he's reached base safely in 25 of his last 30, but his average is at 208. takes at the knees. 0-1. He's a big part of the Kansas City Royals winning the World Series a couple of years ago, if only because of his speed.
Came in as a defensive replacement for Ned Yost. And this is kind of new territory for him since he's been in the big leagues, as being an everyday player.
Can he be an everyday player?
Well, that's what they're hoping to find out. They're hoping he is, because like you said, the speed, he's got a little pop in his bat. He's not going to hit you 20 homers, but, you know, double gap power.
No balls and 1 strike. 0-2. Very nice strike zone today so far by Chad Fairchild for Zach Eflin.
It's funny how that works out, isn't it? Last night it was a little snug, and now today the you know, it's warmer. The blanket comes off the snugness, and let's expand.
Larry Vetover, the crew chief, is at second base. And a quick toss over.
Timeout.
Gotta do a little manicure.
Yeah, Heredia. That's, your first basemen love that when guys go over there and start digging that so they get a better.
Let me put another divot in there.
Yeah, well, that's always fun. Tommy were smart after this pitch. He'd go over there and
clean it up.
Put the dirt back in.
To the right side. I'll get the runner at first base. And 1 out. With the runner at second. And here comes Carlos Ruiz. Some of the players for the Mariners, some of the real young players who haven't seen anything like this, said it was the greatest thing I've ever seen when they acknowledged him last night. It was kind of neat.
Oh, it's just a touching, you know, respect for a guy that gave everything he had on this field for these fans and helped bring their second world championship to him.
Ball foul. 0-2.
He was pretty clutch too. I mean,
you asked Joe Torre for the Dodgers, and even Larry Bowa, because he was coaching the Dodgers that time with Joe. They thought he was the toughest out in the postseason.
I agree. He strung together some good ones.
Heredia doing a little dancing off that second base bag.
.95-mile-an-hour by outfield. Keep Heredia from scoring. Amping it up a hair. Yeah, watch Heredia. If he does it again, just bouncing around like that. That's not distracting to Eflin. That's more distracting to Chooch. I used to hate that as a hitter. Have someone go back and forth, back and forth. I mean,
would you say something to them?
Yeah, I step out and say.
Oh, you would.
I can't really say what
you
I
would
said.
say to them right when you were at the plate. I thought maybe when you were back in the dugout.
No, it would. I'm like, come What are we doing? If you're going to go, go. If you're going to jump, dance back and forth, I'm not going to stand here all day and wait for the pitcher to make you stop. Oh, it's frustrating.
I wonder if it would bother a lefty more than a righty. Does that matter?
Right, because of that angle? Maybe. Oh, it was just annoying.
Carlos lays off 2-2.
You know, Lenny, our guys, it happened more in San Diego than it did, because Lenny, you know, he had an idea of when he wanted to go, but he just took a lead accordingly. And, you know, Mickey and Mariano in front of me,
I didn't mean to bring it up.
Well, thanks for doing that.
And a strike 3 called on the outside part of the plate. Well, that is a friendly strike zone.
It's
pitcher friendly.
Pitcher friendly, and this is where you have to take advantage of it.
Our pitch cast presented by Mazda will tell us where that pitch was. Yeah, maybe a bit outside. Just a bit outside.
Like we said yesterday, as long as that's the same pitch in the 9th inning as it is the 2nd inning, you got to exploit it.
Here's Gallardo. Now Gallardo in his career has hit 12 home runs.
Didn't he win a Silver Slugger one year? And I think I believe Dan Herron hit like 4 something, but because Gallardo hit 2 or 3 homers that
Probably
year.
that year in 2010.
Yeah. I think he won the Silver Slugger for National League pitchers. Dan Herron hit like, I think he hit like 400 or something.
Everybody likes the long ball, Johnny. Yeah, he won the Silver Slugger in 2010. High bouncer over to shortstop and Freddie Galvis. And the inning is over. No runs, 1 hit. 1 man left in scoring position. Middle of the 2nd. Mariners 1, Phillies nothing. MLB.com at-bat mobile app. Stay connected to the game's best players all season long with Game Day, live game video highlights, radio broadcasts, stats, news, and more. Download MLB.com at-bat today. It's your #1 app for live baseball. Boy, it is crystal clear in Center City, just as it is here at Citizens Bank Park on a great day for a little Citizens Bank Business Person Special. Breeze has picked up a little bit since the start of the game. That's okay. Michael Saunders will lead it off.
As long as it helps us and not them. Nothing against the Mariners, but
nice people.
We hope they lose.
They're trying to get to the 500 mark for the first time this year. The Phillies, who are in 3rd place behind the Mets and the Nationals. Nationals are leading the division are 7 games out. So here's Saunders, 1 for 4 last night with a 2-run home run. There's your division standings. With all the problems the Mets have had, they're still at 500.
Yeah, and once again, those ugly rumors about Terry Collins. Come on. What's a guy got to do?
Two balls and no strikes to Saunders. Saunders, Joseph, and Blanco. On the outside corner, 2-1. Gallardo double digits in victories in 6 of his seasons in the big leagues. His best years were 2011 and 12 with the Milwaukee Brewers. Won 17 one year, 16 the other year. Popped up. Four up, 4 down. And Giovanni Gallardo will now face Tommy Joseph. Let's check in with Greg Murphy. Murph.
All right, thanks a lot, Tom. Well, you know, in baseball, of course, you can look at numbers until your eyes are very weary as you try and look at different things and things that have been improved over past years and things that are happening in this season. But we were looking at some numbers in the office today about this Phillies offense, which, quite frankly, is improved. And Pete Mackanin has said that time and time again. But take a look at what the Phillies offense is doing against fastballs this year. They are hitting 300 against fastballs. That's 4th best in the major leagues. You see the numbers versus off-speed pitches and breaking balls much further down the line. Just to put that in perspective, last season, the Phillies offense hit 263 against fastballs all season long. That ranked 29th in baseball. They have jumped all the way up to 4th. And I was talking to Matt Stairs. You guys were in the office today. Stairs, he came up to visit, and I said, you know, what do you make of this? And he said, I love to see that. I love the fact that our team is attacking those fastballs. That's what we talked about in spring training, getting that pitch to hit and hitting it. And right now, batting 300 against the fastball, that is making the Phillies hitting coach very happy. And obviously, it has led to better offensive production. We've seen that all season long. Hasn't led to more wins at this point, but better offensive production for sure. And John, I showed you those numbers, and I said to you, what does this say to you? What does it say to you?
Well, it says what Matt Stairs has been preaching since he's been named the hitting coach. And that's hunt the fastball and don't miss it. These pitchers now, they throw so hard that, to me, a breaking ball is going to be a lot more difficult to hit. I mean, Tommy just, Gallardo spikes a breaking ball, so he has to throw a fastball. It's elevated. Tommy gets on top and hits a base hit. But, Murph, the thing that it tells me is that common sense will tell you that they're going to throw a fastball at least once or twice per at-bat, depending on how long the at-bat goes. And, that's Matt's theory. Don't miss it. If he throws it, let it fly. And, these Phillies are having good swings on fastballs, but you see him chase breaking balls. But, sometimes you have to give up something to get something. And the offense has improved because they are hitting the fastball better.
Yeah, runs per game are up. Extra base hits are up at this point in the season. As Blanco rolls that one to the right side, Robinson Cano will throw out Tommy Joseph at second. And 4-6 on the putout, 2 away.
Hey, Robinson Cano, so nonchalant. Like I picture Robinson Cano as how people pictured Mike Schmidt. Just so ultra talented that people thought he wasn't trying. And you look at this play by Cano. Tommy has to wait, of course, but Cano knows you're not going to turn a double play. So why rush? Why try to make an off-balance, underhand, fire it to the shortstop Segura? He's going to get one, and that's it anyway. So just take it and get out of the way.
Larry Boa was a big piece in the development of Robinson Cano when he was with the Yankees. They would take hundreds of ground balls each and every day.
Yeah, Larry loved him. And like you said, when you watch him, sometimes you think, is he really trying? But when you're pretty much that much better than a lot of people on the field, it comes easier.
Galvis takes low, 1 ball, no strikes. opposite way. 1-1.
But getting back to the fastball thing, you know, you hunt fastball, but it has to be a strike fastball, and that's what else Matt's trying to, you know, get into these guys' heads, that, you know, just because you see a fastball doesn't mean you have to swing at that fastball if it's not a strike.
Swing and a miss, and an off-speed pitch, 1-2.
You would be surprised at the amount of times I said, you know what, I'm going to set on a breaking ball here. And I got a breaking ball, and I said, oh, it's a breaking ball, I got to swing. And it bounces. Like, you know, just because you get it doesn't mean you have to swing at it. Or I'm looking fastball, no matter where it's at, I'm swinging.
Well, the point was well taken, too, what Matt was saying. He goes, during the course of the season, you're going to see 3/4 fastballs, and the rest will be the change-ups, the curves, and all that other stuff. So you got to hit it. You got to be able to hit it.
Yeah, if you can't hit a fastball in the big leagues, you ain't going to be around long.
1-2 pitch. Outside, 2-2. Check swing by Galvis. Did he go? No, says Alfonso Marquez. And it's 3 balls and 2 strikes.
Nope. Live to see another pitch, Freddie.
Valencia's
3-2. The orange-clad shoes of Andres Blanco will be running right here. Hey.
Over to first. Valencia takes the hop off the lip of the grass. No runs, 1 hit, and 1 man left for the Phillies. Here in the bottom of the second, we move to the 3rd inning. Phillies trail at 1-0. The Jeep Stump the Fans trivia question. Log on to Phillies.com. Go to the fans section for all the information. And please submit your answer on the subject line. All right, John, the question is, who holds the Mariners record for most wins in one season? Most wins in one season. Wow. Answer will be revealed in just a little bit.
I got two choices.
Yeah, you do. We have more than 2, but well, 2 that are prominent. Segura takes outside. It's 1-0. Segura grounded out his first time up. Swing and a miss. 1-1.
You got to keep him off the bases. The way Gamble and Cano are swinging it, or Segura's swinging it too. I mean, at some point, 2 of the 3 of them are going to make an out in the same inning, aren't they?
You would hope.
I tell you, if I'm Andrew Knapp and Zach Eflin right now, I'm staying out there. A couple inches off the plate, you're getting that call. Stay out there.
And they do, and it's low, 2-2. Broken back rounder, right back to the mound. And 1-3 of the putout. Phillies fans, don't miss another game. Download the NBC Sports app. Once it's installed on your device, select your provider, sign in, then choose your games. It's that simple. Stream every CSN game with the NBC Sports app. Here is Gamble with the bases empty. He singled and scored his first time up. And a fastball, it's 0-1. We mentioned that Gamble's playing because the injury to Mitch Haniger. Haniger was acquired along with Segura from the Arizona Diamondbacks. And he's out with an oblique injury, but he's due back. But he's due back with a batting average that's among the best in the American League, hitting .342 before the injury in 21 games. It's a nice problem for Scott Servais to have, particularly if Gamble keeps on hitting. Figure if he wants to put one in left field and the other one in right field.
But I mean,
although Heredia is hitting over 300.
Yeah, just take one guy hitting 300 after another, huh?
2-2 pitch off the hands, blooped out to center field. Man, throw a hose on that guy.
He hits it on the barrel. It's a hit, double, home run, or gets jammed and breaks his bat and flips one into center. You know what? This is one of those streaks that a lot of guys will go through one of these streaks where no matter what, it's. I mean, look, pitch. Like he hit it more off the end of the bat than he got jammed, but he just flip it into center, and here we go.
Well, Robinson Cano singled his first time up. He lays off.
I mean, you wonder if they had Heredia last night go over to center field. You wonder if Heredia can play center.
Oh, he's known as a good defender.
Yeah, with Dyson struggling offensively.
Out to left field. That's well hit. Going back on it is Altair, and it is gone. Into the seats in opposite field. 2-run home run for Robinson Cano. That's his second home run of the series. And it's now 3-0 Seattle.
We mentioned at the start of the inning, you got to get 2 of the 3 out. We can get Gamble out, and then Cano got a changeup that just ran away, but I mean, there was no doubt about it when it left the bat.
Nice catch by the fan.
Well, you knew this is why Cano's such a smart hitter. He pulled one through the hole to get the first and third. You have to figure Eflin's not going to come inside to give him an opportunity to hit one in that hole again. So a great hitter like Cano with power the other way. Okay, that's where you want to throw it. You're going to pay for that too.
It's 286 career home runs, and we mentioned that Jeff Kent has the all-time record for second baseman. Cano's 34. You would figure he's going to be around long enough to pass Ken.
Doesn't he? How many more years does he have on his deal with them? Didn't he sign like a 10-year?
Yep. Seager bunts it toward third.
Thank you.
Yells at himself as he does it. He was trying to beat the shift. Yeah, there are 2 outs. And Valencia's coming up. Cano can be a free agent for the 2024 season.
So
this is only the 4th year of the 10-year deal.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Yeah. I'm pretty certain he'll get to 400 homers.
$240 million contract.
Wow.
One and one to Valencia.
What would you do with all that?
With $240 million?
Yeah.
Enable you to stay on your couch for the rest of your life and not leave the house.
I did bring that up today.
There's a line drive over the glove of Freddie Galvis. A 2-out single.
My helicopter to the golf course.
Correct.
Helicopter back home.
You're asking me. You already had plans what you would do with it.
You know,
I think the helicopter is a good idea, though.
My buddies joke around. Oh man, you know, we win the lottery, man. Let's buy a golf course. I'm like, why would we buy a golf course when we can just go play whatever one we want
and let somebody else maintain it? I'm with you on that. Already it takes a strike. Well, at that point, the helicopter would be very affordable. Cesar Hernandez charges and then tags out Valencia, who tailed way out of the baseline. 2 more runs scored. The home run by Cano. Middle of the 3rd. Phil's now trailing 3-0. Is brought to you by your local Chevrolet dealers. Bottom of the 3rd inning, Andrew Knapp, Zach Eflin, and then the top of the order. That cornhole tournament's been going on for like 3 days here at Citizens Bank Park. Andrew Knapp starts it off. Knapp is hitting .267 this year. Home run, 2 runs batted in. First appearance in these 2 games. Second appearance on this homestand. 25-year-old switch hitter. And he takes a strike 0-1. The Lucky McDonald's Phillies home run jackpot contestant is Joe Kiss of Levittown. Phillies hit a home run in today's ball game. Joe will win $100. Now at McDonald's, an ice cold delicious soft drink is only $1.
I hope Joe wins, and I hope Joe wins on a grand slam because we need some offense.
Seriously.
It's early.
That one's whacked to the right side. Cano bobbles for a moment.
See how he panicked?
Yeah.
I mean, see that just utter panic, rushing it, you know.
That goes to what you said, that people always said that he was so relaxed looking, but in all honesty, the relaxation sort of helped him there.
Without question. I mean, watch this ball. Bounces up, hits him in the heel, hits him in the armpit. That, you know, no big deal. But he understands. Knapp's running a catcher. He's not a bad runner, but he's not a fast runner.
He uses a tiny glove as Eflin pulls one through the hole on the left side for his first hit of the year. A one-out single here in the third.
Maybe this is the grand slam inning for Altera. Cesar gets on, Odubel gets on. Who knows?
I'd like that plan to happen.
I would too. And it'd be paybacks for what they did last night when we got the lead. They started hitting 3-run homers.
The Phillies had a 4-0 lead early and then a 9-5 lead. It was only the second time in Mariners history that they had come back from 2 4-run deficits.
I'm sure if you're Pete McCann, you'd like to see Cesar hit a home run so Eflin doesn't have to run the bases. The history of knee issues. Tell you what, he can hit a golf ball.
Zach Eflin?
Saw him the other day, him and Vince Velasquez out on the golf course. I thought, man, those guys don't hit it far at all.
You're thinking I'm ahead of them by how many yards?
I think I got to be 20 yards further than that.
Oh, you're a position player.
Yeah.
You're an athlete.
But then I realized because of my age, I was playing the up tees, and these guys were playing the tips. So they were like 50 yards behind me at the start. I'm like, okay, that makes sense.
You really wanted to believe that they were not 50 yards behind.
I wish I wouldn't have drove over there to say hi to him, to be honest with you. Made me feel a lot better about my game.
Yeah, you would have just been making fun of him the rest of the day in your mind. 3-0 pitch coming to Cesar, and he'll take a strike, 3-1. Cesar hit it right on the nose his first time up. He lined out to center field. Little looper foul off the left field line.
What a play.
Nice grab.
Look at that. It's like the Hail Mary pass in football. Guys jumping up with their hands all over. Hands in front of your face. Not an issue.
Ball 4. That'll put runners on first and second with one away. The fantastic auction is upon us once again. It'll end during the day this Friday, the 12th. Over 50 once-in-a-lifetime experiences with Phil's players, alums, trips, memorabilia, and other unique opportunities. It's held in partnership with Sports Radio 94 WIP. The net proceeds benefit Phillies Charities Incorporated, and a portion of the proceeds will be donated to the Greater Philadelphia chapter of the ALS Association. Items include a trip for 2 to see the Phils play in Colorado, a private clinic with Michael Franco and Andres Blanco, Pete Rose Toyota Phillies Alumni Weekend Experience. Again, go to phillies.com/fantastic auction for more information.
Well, we're halfway there to that grand slam.
Boy, if that happens, I want you to predict something every day.
Well, we're going to buy lottery tickets, and we're going to pick our own number.
Powerball's up to $165 million.
That'd work. What's that, like $82.5 million each?
After tax. Well, you have to worry about taxes, though.
Yeah. Well,
before taxes, yes.
Give Murph a couple hundred, just because we like him.
Off the hands, popped up. Ruiz off with the mask. And there are 2 outs.
All right, a 3-run homer. Right now it's settled for a double.
Yeah, just to get one back. Or two back.
Still could happen. A walk to Altair and Saunders goes deep. Just missed the player.
I was just say I thought it was Altair that you were laying out there.
Saunders hit one last night. Ain't no reason he can't hit back-to-back days. Of course, Altair hit one too, didn't he?
He did. He had a 3-run shot. This is the 3rd home run for Altair in the month of May.
Hey, when he stays healthy, he's going to be a special player. I mean, just the size, the athletic gifts that he has.
Gallardo got him on strikes the first time he was up. One ball, one strike. But Gallardo wanted that pitch. Can't have everything, John.
Yeah, he has. Chad Fairchild behind the plate has had give you a little extra off the outside corner.
Blocked by Ruiz, 3-1.
Base on balls.
In the air to left field. Going back on it is Heredia toward the wall. It is gone. A 3-run home run. And the Phils are on the board. Aaron Altair, his 6th home run of the season. That was a towering shot. We're tied up at 3. Well, as cool as it would have been if it was a grand slam because you predicted. The 3-run shot is still pretty neat.
We'll take it. That's a big blast by Aaron Altair. Man, when that ball left the bat, I thought there's no way, it's too high. But when you saw Heredia tracking it, he's like, yeah, I got no chance. But that just shows you the power that this young man possesses, the tweaks in his swing that he and Matt Stairs made. Wow.
Makes a winner out of Joseph Kiss of Levittown, who's won $100 thanks to the McDonald's home run jackpot.
Look at how that foot gets down. The head stays down. I mean, you could put that one with the swing last night, and they'd be very similar. That's what you're looking for, is that consistency.
Saunders takes a strike, 1-1. Maybe we should play the Powerball.
Here we go again.
Hey guys, I'm on my way to get the Powerball tickets now.
All right,
so if you need me to pick up anything else.
All right, then we'll give
John,
you more
send
of a
me
split.
the numbers. All right. Yeah, thanks. I appreciate that.
Broken bat looper out to right field. And Gamble will track it down. But the Phils with a little thunder on Weather Education Day. Aaron Altair, a 3-run home run. It was high enough to bring rain. And the Phils will take it. They've tied this game up at 3 apiece. Altair with his 6th home run. He now has 20 RBIs on the season. Tommy Joseph just made a nice play on a bunt attempt by Dyson. He applied the tag as Dyson was about to speed by him. It's a good move by Dyson to try to punch this one for a base hit.
Yeah, Tommy read that well, though. As soon as he saw the hands move up the bat for Dyson, he started charging. Took a great angle to the ball, so when he caught it, his momentum was carrying him toward the line. And Dyson's fast, but he couldn't get around Tommy Joseph.
So 1 out now for Chooch, who struck out looking his first time up. On the inside corner, 0-1. The end of the bat foul, and it's 1 ball, 2 strikes.
You know he wants to hit one out of here. And I hope the Phillies have a huge lead, and he does late in the game. Think they give him a curtain call?
I think that he's got a curtain call in him before the end of the game. I would think. Because there's no doubt his career is winding down. That one's in foul territory off the right field line, and Tommy Joseph watches it to go into the crowd. I mean, he's hitting 107, 3 for 28. You know, the Zunino kid who they sent down, who was hitting under 200 also, talked about how great Carlos was in spring training for him. Just going over the pitchers and what he needs to do to call a game, and so that really helped him. There's a place for him, whether it be with the Phillies or somebody else as a coach.
Yes, without question.
3 balls, 2 strikes to Ruiz. That was off the hands foul.
When I was driving home last night, I was thinking about the reception Carlos got, and well deserved and rightly so. But you started thinking, like, who you compare him to, and he's a poor man's Yadier Molina. What Yadier means to the Cardinals pitching staff is what Carlos meant to the Phillies pitching staff in their great run.
Carlos is down looking for the second time. Same spot as the first time. Yeah, there are 2 outs. Yeah, you know, he kind of pulled the whole thing together. You know, that's not an easy position to find somebody.
Well, and you think about the personalities that the Phillies starting staff were running out there. You know, Cole Hamels and Brett Myers and Cliff Lees and Roy Halladay's. I mean,
they were a different bunch.
They weren't all the same. Let's put it that way. So, you know, when you have to, you know, nurse 4 guys or 5 guys, Joe Blanton's easy, I would imagine. I mean, I would imagine Joe's like, okay, here's what we're doing today, Joe. Okay, perfect, let's go. Yeah, I'm sure the others had their opinions on what they wanted to do.
Yeah, he's kind of bridged the gap between Nola and Lee and guys like that. 1 ball and 1 strike to Gallardo, who bounced out to shortstop his first time.
You know, name one Cardinals pitcher in the recent memory that left St. Louis and has gotten better.
Or left St. Louis not wishing that they had Yadier Molina.
I mean, Joe Kelly
throws harder, but he's not better.
Shelby Miller is hurt.
Yeah.
Great stuff.
And a line drive base hit for Gallardo into left center field. Herrera does get to it. And a 2-out single and brings Segura to the plate.
Pretty soon that 2-headed monster is going to rear its ugly head in Gamble and Cano. This is a situation where you can't focus so much on I have to get him out, I have to get him out, and you make a bad pitch. Because Segura can hit the ball of the ballpark too. Just keep swinging at that one, we'll be fine. The weather thing here today. Where'd the sun go?
Changed a little bit since we started the game.
Cooler too.
Outside, 2-1.
This is National Weather Day.
It is Weather Education Day.
All right.
Citizens Bank Weather Education Day.
Maybe someone can educate us and say it's not going to rain.
Ground ball towards shortstop. And Galvis has it, sweeps it to second, and the inning is over. No runs, one hit, and one man left. Middle of the fourth, we're all tied up at 3, the Phils and the Mariners. Is brought to you by Nissan. ShopChooseNissan.com. By Jefferson Health. Call 800-JEF-NOW or visit jefferson.edu. And by your local Ford store. Check out every new Ford car, truck, and SUV crossover at buyfordnow.com today. Home half of the fourth inning. The Phillies and the Mariners tied up at 3. Tommy Joseph, Andres Blanco, and Freddie Galvis. Mariners are celebrating the 40th anniversary of their franchise. Man, they've had some good teams, but they have yet to make it to the World Series. I thought that year they won 116 games. I thought they were going to be hard pressed to lose out on the American League pennant. I mean, they had everything: offense, bullpen, decent starting pitching, good coaching staff. Sometimes it takes a little luck.
Yes. And you run into a hot team.
Here's Tommy Joseph to start the fourth, and he takes outside. One ball, one strike.
Like a couple years ago, the Mets and the Dodgers. I mean, on paper, the Dodgers were probably a better team. Mets, of course, with that great starting pitching. But they ran into a hot Daniel Murphy. Jacob deGrom was big that postseason.
Mariners won 116 games that year in 2001. The A's finished in second with 102 wins. Ground ball to third. Seager throws out Tommy Joseph. And one away.
A pretty good play right there by Kyle Seager. Backhand, ball bounced up on him. Tommy hits this ball pretty hard. You see how it bounced up, and watch Seager's glove have to come up, catch with the backhand. But this is what you love, and I've noticed this about the three infielders. Their internal clock is really good. Like Seager didn't rush that throw. He knew Tommy Joseph, who's an okay runner, was running, so he had time. You see Cano do it. Segura will do it. You don't get extra points for getting them out farther from first.
Blanco reached on a fielder's choice his first time up.
Buck Showalter told me he put his infielders were rushing, so he got like an Olympic starters thing where they do the 100-meter dash, the big clock, and he put it behind first base. He put up the fastest guy from home to first in baseball and said, this is how much time you have. And they became a better defensive team because they didn't rush throws.
Why, did he do that in spring training?
Yeah.
Is that what he did? That's a pretty interesting way to go about it.
He said it's hard to tell how much time you have. But if they can see it, once they catch a grounder, like, oh, I got 1.4 seconds or whatever.
Pretty interesting. 3-2.
You watch one of their games and J.J. Hardy, it's like every play at first a bang play, but they seem to always be out. And Manny Machado has picked up on that with, you have two cannons in your infield with Jonathan Scope and Manny Machado. Three shortstops playing in their infield. No use to rush. I said there's no use to rush.
Oh, yeah. Every once in a while somebody will probably chide them a little bit and say, man, get it over there faster.
Yeah. Well, I had to do that with Greg Nettles. I didn't say it because he was a veteran. I was a punk. But he would throw that
little screwball.
Yeah, just like he'd flip it underhand and it'd have that little, and I'd get out of my front foot, double, triple stepping before we'd get there. And so finally he just came over and he said, son, be patient. It'll get there. And it always did. It just, like you could feel the runner coming. You're like, come on, ball, get here.
Balls, 2 strikes to Blanco, and a liner out to right field. Gamble, he was coming in prowling.
Why wouldn't he? It's his world. It's the world of Gamble.
Showed that last night with his outfield assist. That was an 8-pitch at bat for Blanco.
So he had to reach at the last minute. That ball was hooking the left-handed hitter Blanco.
Well, that ball was moving in his glove too. 2 outs now. Freddie Galvis grounded out to first base. His only time up in a 3-3 game. Andres kind of going through his swing again with Gamble making that play.
Yeah, don't change a thing. That was a good one.
That was a curveball from Gallardo. So he throws curveball and slider. When he was at the Brewers, I thought he threw the curveball more often than the slider. It's kind of changed now.
Yeah, he's spiked that one a couple times in front of home. We keep talking about eliminating pitches. That might be one.
Opposite way.
That was missed by 20 people.
Thankfully, because it was going in hot. Back toward the middle. That'll be a base hit for Galvis. A 2-out single, 4th hit for the Phils. And now Andrew Knapp is coming up. Saturday, May 27th, when the Phillies take on the Cincinnati Reds. After the ballgame, if you're 14 and under, you are invited to run the bases. That's brought to you by Nemours. Go to Phillies.com and purchase your tickets. It's always a cool time to get out there and run the bases here.
We could get Murph to go out there and run. Well, Ben could run.
Ben could run.
But I would assume out of the rest of us, Scott?
Scott could probably run because he's running after his kids all the time.
We got the.
Quick toss over.
Larry, I'm sure.
Larry would run. He would try.
I would run, but I'm not getting lottery tickets right now. So. Just send me to those numbers, John.
Well, 11, 28, 29. First pitch coming to Knapp in this at bat. Up and away. What a no. I would think that we'd probably have to defer to one of our camera operators to run, maybe Matt Wall. Joe Kennedy from up here in the booth. Gus could probably run. Might have to pick him up halfway around.
I mean, if we could use the Fanatics.
The ATV?
ATV,
yeah.
We could get around pretty good.
That would go well with all the kids. They'd love it. Out of play. 1 ball, 1 strike to Knapp. Carlos throws behind Freddie Galvis.
Freddie giving him the stare down. They let Carlos park in the players' lot?
I would think they did. Oh, Freddie. He was a little late getting back, but he's able to get back. He was swimming.
He got there just barely, though, but a little too close for comfort.
Curveball and 3-1.
Yeah, he doesn't have good feel for his breaking pitches right now. And this is where Andrew Knapp. I remember he left in spring training, hit a home run to left center field. He might have to go that way now, even though the wind feels like it's coming dead in right now.
Phillies have the 1 home run today by Altair, the 3-run shot. He has a 3-run home run in 3 consecutive games. He's only the 3rd Philly to do that. You see the flags that John was talking about. The other 2 guys that have 3-run home runs in 3 straight games, Mike Schmidt and Andy Semenuk, who did it in 49. That puts runners on first and second with a walk to Knapp. And Eflin, who singled his first time up, will get a chance to bat here.
And that's a great at bat by Knapp. You know, you get 2 quick outs. Freddie gets a base hit. Knapp works a walk, and you know whether Eflin gets a hit or not. That, of course, that's what you would take. But you know, you clear the 5th inning now for the top of the order. Get the pitcher out of the way. I wouldn't mind seeing him come up though this inning.
Maybe get your grand slam you were looking for. Eflin takes a breaking ball, and it's 0-1. That's the curve ball from Gallardo, who in his last start threw it 12% of the time. And he threw it again. 1 ball, 1 strike.
It's respect.
Opposite way, caught by Valencia. And the Phillies leave a couple here in the 4th inning. No runs, 1 hit, 2 men left. We have played 4 here in Philadelphia. We'll head to the 5th, tied up at 3. Are available in a variety of different colors and ideal for most hard to stick surfaces. So if it needs to get done, put it on a post-it note, personally delivered to your desktop for free. By who? Who but WB Mason. Phillies are tied up at 3 as we go to the top of the 5th inning. A 3-run home run by Aaron Altair is what tied this game up. Well, earlier today it was Weather Education Day, brought to you by Citizens Bank. And the good folks from NBC 10 were here, along with the Fanatic, and 11,000 kids from all over the Delaware Valley. And the weather crew from NBC 10 were on hand to do experiments, which included some of the Phillies players. There's Hurricane Schwartz. Cesar Hernandez and Aaron Altair were part of the experiments that were going on. And it was just a great day with a lot of energy here at the ballpark. And Greg Murphy is with a special guest who was part of Weather Education Day. Murph?
Yeah, Crystal Clyde, one of the meteorologists from NBC 10, was part of the fun today. You mentioned over 11,000 school kids here today. You put 11,000 kids anywhere, you got some serious energy, don't you, Crystal?
Oh, yeah, it was a wild crowd. They were having a good time out here, and it was so fun to see them all with their rally towels, getting excited. I don't think I've ever been in front of a crowd that big, so that was fun.
You know, it is fun, and I think it's the 3rd year that we've had Weather Education Day here at Citizens Bank Park, but it's your first. You came to Philadelphia about 10 months ago, so you got a taste of what it's all about, being in front of that crowd. And, you know, the kids really seem engaged, and the information you guys are giving them, well, you know, they can take that back and they can really use it and learn from it.
Yeah, absolutely. So it was super of fun. We had some of the kids come down and ask the baseball players questions and then ask us, the meteorologist, questions, which was awesome. And we got some really good questions from the kids. They were involved. Some of their family was out here. Such a good time. I've never experienced an event like this. I'm so glad I'm with NBC 10 to be able to do that.
You know, we were talking about Cesar Hernandez was down on the field with you guys, and Aaron Altair. We just showed some of the video. They were hitting balls off of a tee. And okay, now they do that all the time, but it was a little different today because you guys were talking about what? What were you explaining to the kids?
Yeah, so we were explaining the difference in air density, if it's hot or cold, and if it's easier or harder to hit a home run based off of that. So a hotter day makes it a little easier, and so they were doing a little batting practices. We explained that. A lot of fun.
You know, Charlie Manuel guys used to call that hitting weather. There's no science behind it, but he understood when it's warm out, the ball flies, and certainly hitters like that. Hey, before I let you go, this is actually your very first time here at Citizens Bank Park. That's a pretty good first day. You get in front of 11,000 and you get down on the field, but you know, you're relatively new to the area, but a big baseball fan. This has got to be a lot of fun for you.
Absolutely. Grew up watching baseball. It's been on the list of things to do. I came right at the tail end of last season and didn't get to go to a game, so glad I'm here right now. This will be the first of many, I'm sure, and the only thing that could make today better is if we pull out a win, right?
That's right. That is what we're hoping for. Well, obviously Aaron Altair learned something because he had a 3-run home run today, so he knew exactly what he needed to do, probably thanks to you guys.
Oh, absolutely. It was a science lesson. We're going to chalk it up. Hurricane, Tammy, and Bill and I, you know, helping out.
I will be sure to tell Aaron that he helped, or you helped him out.
It might have been his skill.
I think he'll take that very well. Crystal, good to talk to you. All the best over there at NBC 10, and thanks for coming out here today. All right, guys, back to you.
All right, we appreciate that, Murph. Cano hits one up the middle, and that gives the Mariners runners on first and second with nobody out. Ben Gamble walks to start the 5th inning. And for Zach Eflin, it was the first walk that he had issued in 28 1/3 innings. It was the longest active streak currently in baseball. And now Cano is 3 for 3 this afternoon as he followed up that walk with a single up the middle.
And luckily he hit it to center field, so Gamble couldn't get to third. But I mean, we just can't keep these two off base.
Well, they've been on base 6 times between them in this ball game, and 12 times between them in the 2 games. 12 times. And Cano didn't even play the whole game yesterday.
At some point, you think Gamble might get a little worn down.
Seager takes one at the knees. It's 0-1. Seager is 0 for 1 today. He had a sac fly his first time up.
Tried to bunt. I bet he don't try to bunt this time. But Andres is playing up like he.
Just in case.
Just in case, but that could be put on the shelf for a while. Now, who was it? Casey Candel's mom or grandmother, something, played like in the League of Our Own?
I want to say mom.
I think so.
Opposite way, foul. Well, it's time now for our State Farm Best Combo. State Farm here to help life go right. And our best combo are the Seager brothers, Kyle and Corey. Became the only brothers to ever hit 25 or more home runs in the same season.
Wow.
That may happen again.
Yeah. I mean, Kyle's the older brother at 30. It could happen a few more times.
Fly ball again, foul down the left field line. Good. By the way, it was Casey's mom.
Yeah.
That played.
Okay. That was a great movie.
His mom played for the Minneapolis Millerettes. Played 111 games. Wow. That's a lot of games. She stole 112 bases.
Pretty good.
Folks don't steal 100 bags anymore.
No.
Nice grab by that dude.
Who was the last one to steal 100? Ricky or Vince?
Vince Coleman, I think.
That was unbearable playing those Cardinals teams. Yeah, Jack Clark sitting in the middle of the lineup, and then 7 guys who could fly. It was fun.
Runners on first and second with nobody out. He is battling here. He's fouled off a bunch of pitches.
Yeah, the thing is, though, they're quality pitches by Zach Eflin, and that's. But it's still a great at bat by Seager for fouling off those pitches. But it's not like they're pitches he's just missing. It's pitches that he's getting a piece of to foul off to stick around to see another one.
Ground ball toward third. It is a foul ball. Thankfully, because everybody would have been safe, although Blanco would have saved a run.
Them orange shoes must have got caught up in something. Looked like he tripped going after this thing, but that thing had spin on it. That was orange. I was thinking last night, if the lights go, at least we know the proximity of third base.
That's right.
Like, you could take those out on a runway, put them on a stick. You know, those guys with the orange things that guide the plane in.
Well, I guess they must have a little red in them for him to be able to wear them. I have a pair of sneakers like that.
I bet you do.
Fly ball center field. Odubel says he's got it, so he's going to settle under it. Gammel's tagging from second. He'll just draw that throw. Good feed in by Herrera. Phillies fans, you need to check out CSN's podcast, From the Cruckcast to At the Yard. Bring your love for all Philly sports with you wherever you go. Listen and download on Audible, iTunes, Google Play, and of course, csnphilly.com. All right, so Eflin, after a 9-pitch at bat, has one out here in the 5th inning. Curveball.
Really sharp breaking ball, and Valencia is a very aggressive hitter. He will chase out of the zone. Sometimes first pitch he'll look to try to do damage, and Eflin flips up that curveball and gets him behind in the count.
Popped him up. Boy, back-to-back curveballs. You don't see him throwing that many. 2 outs. He's a good pitch. I was talking about that goes to what you were talking about before about him bailing as much as he is.
Yeah, that's the defense mechanism against the bail, is throwing something that a breaking ball. But that was Eflin got lucky there because that pitch stayed in. It didn't have that downward bite to it. It stayed middle in, and guys coming in swinging hot. Like, I guarantee you, Gammel or Cano probably hits that ball hard somewhere.
Now he tries to get through Heredia, who lines one down the right field line out of play. Nice play on the bounce. And it's 0-1.
This would be a huge boost to the Phillies. It should be. If Eflin can get out of this one after the first 2 get on.
Gamble and Cano take their lead. Cano not being held on, so he'll step out as far as Tommy Joseph is. And already is hit by the pitch. Well, he does dive, and man, he dove right into that pitch.
He dove, and that ball hit him in his back elbow. Usually, I mean, you see he's got the thing on his left elbow. He might have to wear both next at bat. Look at that. How he turned in, and and that's something that's one of the biggest changes that I've seen, is how guys, because of all the suspensions and warnings, and if you pitch inside high, but guys don't know how to get out of the way. They turn into the ball.
He's having a little trouble getting his batting glove off.
Probably numb. That thing hit him right in the back elbow. How do you? Well, I guess it's happened before, but that's kind of an odd place to get hit. Now, does he go in and get 2 elbow guards now?
I don't know, but I'm always entertained when they take one set of batting gloves off and put another set on. As Dyson hits it foul.
Sliding glove.
Did you ever have sliding gloves?
I did, but I only had the one for my right hand, because I only knew how to slide on one hand or one knee. Larry Bow and John Vukovic, spring training, said, look, you've had however many operations, we got to teach you how to slide on your other knee. So they bought me these big gray bulky sweatpants out in Clearwater, and then we didn't have the slip and slide, they just saturated the grass, and they said, come on, slide on your right knee, try it. I bet I almost like dug a well with my knee. My knee just planted in, and that was it, one and done. They said, okay, go back to the other one.
Surgery on that knee?
Probably.
1-2. How about the fact that they were so in tune that you needed to slide on your other leg?
It didn't work.
Bases are loaded here in the top of the 5th inning. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Gerard Dyson.
Dyson will expand the zone with 2 strikes. You don't have to throw anything over the plate to get him out.
Fly ball left center field. Playable for Herrera or Altair, and it's Herrera who makes the catch, and Eflin works out of a bases loaded jam here in the 5th inning. On to the bottom of the 5th. We're still tied at 3 with the top of the order due up for the Phils. Bank minor league report. Citizens Bank, the official bank of the Phillies. Visit citizensbank.com. Well, earlier today, Reading defeated Bowie by a final score of 4-3. Osmel Aguila had a 2-run double for the Reading Fighters. Meanwhile, in Clearwater, the Threshers lost to Charlotte 6-3. Cornelius Randolph had an RBI double for the Threshers.
What time did those games start?
I think the Reading one started at 11. My son was there, so I think he said it was starting at 11. It might have been 11:30.
Wow.
Tonight, Lehigh Valley will host Rochester. Aaron Nola is scheduled to throw 60 pitches. And he is scheduled to throw 2 rehab starts before he rejoins the Phils. He's been on the disabled list since the 24th of April with that lower back injury. Cesar leads it off here in the 5th inning. Outside. It was 11:05. 11:35, but it was a morning start.
I don't think that'd be too effective that early.
That one's pulled to the right side. Valencia's got it, and he flips to Gallardo covering just in time. And one away, 3-1 on the putout.
Walking two pretty hard hit balls by Cesar in this game, and nothing to show for it. Doing what you're supposed to do. Put your head down, create that 45-degree angle to cover first. Great feed by Valencia. Cesar flying up behind him, but couldn't catch him.
And now Odubel Herrera takes low. 1 ball, no strikes. Any big difference between 2 and 3 in the lineup for Odubel? Is he going to see more fastballs as the 2-hitter?
Well, if Altair keeps swinging it like he is, he probably will. But, you know, I think that's changed a lot. I think, you know, the fastball count's not a fastball count anymore. Any pitch can be thrown. I mean, you see here, it's you know, fastball first pitch and then 2 changeups that Odubel swung through. So, you know, he might get better pitches to hit if Cesar's on in front of him. The threat of the stolen base could get him some more fastballs, but you know, this is like any other at bat, no matter where you're hitting.
And Valencia takes care of Herrera. 3 unassisted. Aaron Altair's coming up, and he provided our Toyota turning point. Phillies were down 3-0 when he stepped to the plate in the 3rd.
Hanging slider by Giovanni Gallardo. The ultra hot Aaron Altair with that 3-run homer.
Yeah, that is his 4th home run here in the month of May, and he's 3 straight days of 3 home runs or 3-run home runs, which we mentioned that note that Elias provided with us, provided for us earlier. Aaron Altair takes low. 1 ball, no strikes.
I think if you're Gallardo 2-0, if I'm Altair, I'm looking for something away. I think he's going to try to give you anything a chance to pull.
Two balls and 1 strike. Sun's back out. Get a chance to soak it in here, at least for some of the game.
Don't mind seeing a home run to right center or right here. I don't think he's going to allow him to pull it. Hit that double yesterday off the wall last night. and right.
Check swing. Did he go? Yes, says the first base umpire, David Rackley. I don't know if Aaron sold that one well enough.
Yeah, usually when you don't take your steps toward first, thinking you didn't swing. He wants to hit anyway, I hope. There's not many better feelings than being in a groove like he's in. It's, you don't think anyone can get you out.
It's kind of like what Gammel's going through in this series.
And even if they do get you out, you know the next time you're going to get him. That probably happens 3 or 4 times a season, where you go through a week or 2 stretch like that. But then when it goes south, like, gosh, my dog could throw me a pitch and I'd swing and miss or pop it up.
That one sliced right onto the concourse and into her waiting hands.
And she has one of those, whatever they're called, what are those canned orange beer things?
Shock top?
Yeah.
So you were educated again last night.
I know.
White out and beer brands.
I was going to ask you, did you reload?
I did. Ball 4. Aaron walks. And now Saunders is coming up. So that was one of those, all right, if you're going to hit it, you're going to have to hit this pitch.
Yeah. And you're going to have to hit it the other way. But that's when you're swinging good. Three balls, 2 strikes. You fouled a few off. You're swinging good. You spit on that pitch. If you're swinging bad, you swing at it.
Little dribbler foul, and it's 0-2 to Saunders. Saunders is flied out to right field, and he's popped out to third. So 0 for 2, batting cleanup today, 1 for 6 in the series.
Fastball in, change up away. Get to this 0-2 count.
Short lead for Altair, who can swipe a bag. Carlos does not throw runners out the way he used to throw runners out. In the dirt. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Now look at this shift. Now, if Altair decides to steal, that's the shortstop Segura right there. This is Seager, the third baseman. So how adept do you think Seager is at taking throws at shortstop or second base if someone attempts to steal? And if he does, now you have a race from Carlos Ruiz to third base or Giovanni Gallardo. If Altair's safe, he can just continue on.
Remember that in the 09 World Series with Johnny Damon, as Saunders fouls that one in and out of the glove of Ruiz. where he just kept on going after stealing second base, popped up and just continued on the third.
And that's something that teams work on now with all these shifts. They work on this in spring training. Who covers third?
One ball and 2 strikes to Saunders. Little check swing. If he does ground one up the third base line, he's going to get a hit on it.
Possibly a double, too.
Saunders, who spent the first part of his career with the Seattle Mariners. Not a whole lot of guys that are left on the playing field that were there when he played. Internal staff, maybe.
Kyle Seager? Is he there?
He might have been, yep, for the first part of his career. Saunders was there until the 2014 season. So, yeah, Seager was there at the beginning. And then the last 2 years in Toronto. Had 19 home runs 1 year with Seattle, 12 the other. And then last year, a career high 24 home runs.
Saunders played in Seattle in 2014?
He did.
So Cano was there, right?
Yeah, I guess Cano was there.
Well, I'm just debunking everything you just talked about.
Well, it's 2.
Yeah. Well, there's only 25 on the roster. No, that's a good number. You don't want a love fest out here, you know.
Ground ball right side under the glove of Valencia, but he recovers and gets back to first in time. 4-3 on the putout. No runs, no hits, and 1 man left. 5 in the books. We'll move to the 6th inning. Is performing to the same level as before his injury 13 months ago. Aaron has stepped up when called to step into the starting lineup. He is batting well above 300 through his first 21 games, and his on-base percentage is at a red-hot .412. Many tools of the Phil's 6'5" outfielder have been on display. Speed is definitely a part of his offensive and defensive game. He is delivering results in a very convincing fashion. And it's brought to you by Independence Blue Cross. Live fearless. Well, Altair has given the Phils a chance today. They tied it up at 3-0 in his 3-run home run. So now we go to the top of the 6th inning. Carlos Ruiz will lead things off, and Carlos is the subject of our cold hard fact brought to you by Clean Crisp Coors Light. Among active catchers, Carlos is tied for 4th in on-base percentage, 5th in games played, 7th in walks, 8th in hits and 9th in career batting average at .265. And he leads things off here in the 6th, and he loops that one out towards shortstop. Freddie Galvis shading his eyes from the sun, puts it away. So 1 pitch, 1 set aside. That's good for Zach Eflin. We talked at the beginning about getting him deep into the game, and getting 1 out on 1 pitch is a big deal. Now Gallardo is done after 5 innings.
He was close to 100 pitches, wasn't he?
Yeah, he's 95. Thought maybe they would go 1 more, but you know they do have that deep bullpen as far as players go.
Yeah, they got a lot of them.
And they added another one today.
So they have 10 bullpen guys?
Technically, yes.
My goodness.
You know, they'll probably make another move before Friday. So Gallardo goes 5 innings. They're going to, because of their off day on Monday, they're able to just move their starters up a day. And then they eventually need to do something. So Mike Freeman, who came in last night's game. The first pitch a bit high. There is Gallardo.
Did you see that last night in the Rays game? You know, these guys pitched from the modified windup. There's a runner on third, and the guy went to a modified windup, and they called a balk because he said you're supposed to alert the umpire before every hitter or whatever that
yes,
I'm pitching from the stretch
that
this time or from the windup.
That is brand new.
Of course it is.
Yep.
Because no one knew the rule.
Swing and a miss, and there's out number 2. And I bring that up because we faced it. The Phillies faced it in the Cubs series. You know how Arrieta has that modified windup. Well, Hellickson does also to a certain extent. And one of the umpires said to Jeremy Hellickson during the Cubs game, you know, if there's a runner at third, you have to declare whether you're going stretch or windup because of the modified windup. And it became a discussion for 2 days between, you know, Pete Mackanin and the umpires, and you know, even to a certain extent Joe Madden and the umpires. But yeah, that is now something that we've heard of before. I'd be interested to see which crew it was that was umpiring that series. And I say that only because of, you know, because I haven't seen it from any other crew except for the one in Chicago. A 1 pitch to Segura. Swing and a miss, 0-2.
But so how do they know which one he was going to choose with the runner on third?
Pitcher has to tell the umpire. That's the thing that's odd. I mean, do you imagine if let's say Roy Halladay was out there, or somebody that was so tunnel visioned, Randy Johnson, you think he would tell them or want to tell them?
We were playing the Braves once, and Schilling would he would have his foot in front of the rubber, and then he would take his sign, and then he would step back onto the rubber from the stretch. And I forget who was umpiring first, but he waited till the 9th inning with the runner on third in a 1-0 game, I think, called a balk. We went ballistic.
Back toward the middle, off the foot of Eflin, picked up by Blanco and then dropped. And that'll be a base hit for Segura. Hopefully Eflin's okay. Looks like he's okay. Sean Picasny is peering out. I don't know if the outside of his right foot.
Yeah, it looked like it's right foot, but it looked like it caught more. Apparently the thumbs up means let's go out and check.
All right, well, they're going to take a peek.
I think it hit him on the spikes, I think.
I think it did. I think it hit the bottom.
And I hope he doesn't throw that ball out. That could have a nice cut in it, because that'd be the only thing we can get Gamble out with.
Well, that's a 9-game hitting streak for Segura. And Gamble, who has been on base 3 times today and 7 times in the series, will be the hitter for the Mariners.
He's probably due for a double with only 2 singles today, so if Segura can't score, then we can walk Cano. I'll take care of those 2. I mean, he's got to make it out at some point, doesn't he? I mean, law averages says that.
And he made the out in his last at bat yesterday on the ground out. And it's 0-1. But yes, I would think he has to.
I mean, he's already had a great series in these 2 games. Just take the rest of it off. Numbers will still be good.
Popped him up.
Stay in.
Andres Blanco on the run and will not have room. Got his spike caught.
And the netting?
Yeah. I don't know if Whitey had the perfect roadmap to this baseball.
No, he. Not even sure he would have caught it anyway. It didn't hit on the field of play, did it?
No, it hit the patio.
Yeah, he'd had to dive in there. And yeah, he circled it like an outfielder, though. Who's going to get it running?
That ball goes right past Knapp and then shoots back to him. And that is a wild pitch.
Well, that's good. I hope Gamble tries to hit the hole and he hits the grounder right to Tommy Joseph. 6 for 7. It's not bad.
No.
I mean, 6 for 8 still a good 2 games. Just, you know.
He would still leave feeling good about himself.
Yeah.
That's for the season. 5 for 12. And they got him.
Yeah.
He finally did not put the ball in play. And Eflin may have finished off his afternoon with a strikeout here in the 6th inning. No runs, 1 hit, and 1 man left. We move to the bottom of the 6th. Phillies baseball is brought to you by WB Mason. Who but WB Mason for fast, free delivery? Nobody does it better. And by Toyota. Find your favorite model today. Toyota, let's go places. Now we're tied at 3 as we go to the bottom of the 6th inning here at Citizens Bank Park. Well, congratulations are in order to our own Sean Bowers. Sean and his wife welcomed in baby Liam last night. And we're told that mom, Christine, and Liam are doing great. Man, it's amazing. Killer has been with the organization for so long. He was a bat boy at one point, and now he's a pop working in the clubhouse. So congratulations, Sean. 7 pounds 20 inches. Born at 9:03 last night. And Killer is about 6'4".
The big one.
Yeah, he's tall and lean. Well, as we go to the 6th inning, the Mariners go to the bullpen. Tony Zick will check in. This is his 9th game. He's 1-0 with an ERA of 2.25. He will face Tommy Joseph, Andres Blanco, and Freddie Galvis. Tommy is 1 for 2. He singled his first time up and then grounded out his last time to the plate. He's got an interesting motion, doesn't he?
A little.
Slow and then bam.
Like little Joe Blantonish. Kind of slow and then
he just jumps
high
right at
front
you.
elbow and
outside. 2-1.
take about 12 more of those.
Originally drafted by the Cubs and decided to not sign out of high school. He went to Louisville. Two at 2. The Cubs drafted him again a couple of years later. 3 years later. They kept an eye on him. They didn't sign again.
Had something against the Cubs or what?
Well, he eventually did sign after a couple of months. He gets Tommy Joseph on strikes. And there's one away. Eventually went over to the Mariners. Pretty good movement on this breaking ball.
Really good. Late breaking. You see Tommy committed to the swing, and that late break gets him. Long stride.
Well, here's Andres Blanco. He's 0 for 2. Had a breaking ball low. 1 ball, no strikes.
All right, I went from these reminding me of Joe Blanton to Larry Anderson now with all the sliders.
His original scouting report said that his fastball can touch 99 miles an hour. That one right there hit 95. He also has a split that he throws.
Need to get the Phillies some tighter helmets.
Get him haircuts.
I don't think Andres' hair is bad for as far as the helmet flying off. Look at the way he twirls that ball. I've never seen that before.
Yeah, there's a lot going on before it gets into the glove.
Fidgety.
And a line drive base hit it to right field for Blanco. So a 1-out single Time now for the Jeep Stump the Fans trivia quiz answer. All right, here we go, Johnny. Who holds the Mariners record for most wins in one season?
You know, it's between King Felix and Randy. I'm going to go with King Felix.
King Felix, I would say King Felix would be the exact choice of most people. But I will say that the most he's ever won is 19 games in 2009. So that is not the correct answer.
Was it Randy?
It is not Randy Johnson.
Wow.
This guy revitalized his career with the Seattle Mariners. As Galvis pops this one into foul territory off the third base side, and Seager can't track it down.
Revitalized his career.
Yes, he did. Was just put into their Ring of Honor, their Hall of Fame last year. Now, just so you know, Randy Johnson did win 20. This left-hander won 21 games. If you had faced him in the All-Star game in Baltimore, you would not have been fearful of getting hit by his fastball.
Oh, Jamie.
Jamie Moyer. That is correct.
That's right.
21 wins in 2003. Log back on to Phillies.com to find out if you're the winner of a Phillies prize pack. That one is off the foot of Freddie Galvis, but he did swing. The ball is loose. It's a live ball. And Andres Blanco went to second base on it. It wasn't a foul ball.
If it hit Freddie in the foot, it's a dead ball.
Yeah, unless they call it a swing.
Well, he said he swung. Marquez said he swung.
Oh, that's right. You're saying that, yeah. Oh, it didn't hit Freddie, did it?
It did. Hit him in the back foot. Look at him. That's why he's wincing. But Alfonso Marquez said he swung.
Oh, it did hit Freddie's foot. Yeah, it then hit the umpire.
And so Blanco's going to have to go back to first.
That's a good pickup, John.
And since Marquez called it a swing, it's a strike on Freddie. Painful strike, but a strike nonetheless.
Yeah, so Carlos was just hanging out thinking the same thing, that it was a dead ball.
Now, is this a reviewable? Or is this a gathering of the umpires to determine?
It is a gathering.
Did it hit his foot?
Yeah, it's a gathering of the umpires.
Look, we had to look at slow motion to see if it hit Freddie's foot. I don't know how they can determine if it hit him.
You can challenge whether it hit him. Yes, you can challenge it.
So I'm sure Scott Service will do that after this meeting of the minds. Which, if they declare that it didn't hit Freddie, then we're going to be here a while. They can finish my chicken.
Yeah, so they're going to call it a dead ball.
Yeah, they're calling it hit Freddie. It's a swing. Dead ball. Blanco has to go back to first.
Yeah, by rule, if the batter is swinging at the ball and the act of swinging has caused the ball to hit the batter, and the ball is a strike, which is what was happening there as he turned into it, and the ball is dead. Down the right field line, and it remains 0-2.
Yeah, I'm surprised at all the breaking balls that Zick is throwing right here, because, you know, Valencia's holding on Blanco. There's a big hole between first and second. Probably an easier pitch to hit through that hole.
Opposite way. And Heredia had him played perfectly for the second out. So Andrew Knapp is now the hitter in this tie game here in the bottom of the 6th inning. Knapp is 0 for 1. He's grounded out and he's walked. Daniel Nava's come out of the on-deck circle to pinch hit. Boy, that ball had some wicked movement.
Yeah, I mean, it seems to be all he wants to throw. That one just went around the plate. Seems like that's the pitch you're going to be dialed in on if you're a hitter. I guess I think that's all he threw to Freddie, didn't he?
Yeah, in different spots though. And now it's 2-0.
I think Chooch wanted that one. Never seen that. Called out Chooch to come out and handed him the ball.
And by the way, I don't like this baseball.
Yeah. Need to talk to you, but here's what I want. Tell that guy I need a new ball. I don't want to ask him because he just missed the call, I think.
2-0 to Knapp. And now 3-0. Again, Nava's out on deck. At ball 4, that'll put runners on first and second. And the pinch hitter coming up. Mel Stottlemyre, the pitching coach, out to talk to his right-hander. As Nava's been introduced as a pinch hitter. And Daniel getting a chance to bat from the left side of the plate, which has been his better side. He'll bat for Eflin, who goes 6 innings today. He kind of now has to go to the bullpen. There's Zach. 6 innings, 9 hits, and 3 earned runs for Eflin. 1 walk.
Well, he is laid back, isn't he?
Yes, very much so. Pretty well against this lineup today, particularly after that first inning. By the way, the Red Sox are coming to town Wednesday, June 14th, Thursday, June 15th. Both games are at 7:05. Get your tickets now by going to Phillies.com. Another interleague matchup. Red Sox bullpen has come back down to earth a little bit in recent games. Besides Kimbrel still throwing well. So here's Nava to pinch hit.
Daniel Nava can hit a breaking ball. That's what you more than likely going to get from this pitcher.
Starts him off with a fastball low, 1-0.
Yeah. And Daniel Nava's smart enough to understand to watch how he pitched to Blanco and how he pitched to Freddie and to Andrew Knapp. That's his pitch. So Daniel might be sitting on it right here. Maybe that's what the meeting was from Stottlemyre. Like,
stop fiddling around with your breaking stuff.
Yeah, you're throwing the mid to upper 90s. Well, let's see if we can feature that one a little bit this AB. But they'll go back. Pitchers are
creatures of habit.
He'll go back to what he wants.
1 ball and 1 strike to Nava. Up and in, 2-1.
A nice little top hand line drive over Valencia's head.
That might get 2 in. Particularly the way Gamel's playing over toward the alleyway in right center field. Swinging a fly ball out toward right center. Gamel was playing him perfectly. And it's a routine catch. No runs, 1 hit, and 2 men left. 6 of the books. We go to the 7th, still tied up at 3. Well, Weather Education Day is what kicked us off here today at Citizens Bank Park. And now as we look at our Delaware Valley Honda Dealers game summary, we look at the fact that the Phillies tied it up at the bottom of the third on an Aaron Altair 3-run home run. After the Mariners scored a run in the first, 2 in the third. Robinson Cano hit a 2-run home run in the third inning. He has 4 homers in his last 8 games. Gallardo done after 5. Eflin is now done after 6, and he will receive another no decision. And he'll give way to Joaquin Benoit. Benoit will start the 7th inning. We were kind of unsure of who would close today for the Phillies, so I guess it's not Benoit. And he is on to face Robinson Cano. This may be a 2-inning appearance by Joaquin Benoit. Cano is 3 for 3 today.
So the closer will know by process of elimination?
Has to be, unless it's Neris again, which would make sense. That's who it was last night. And Cano is now 4 for 4. Man, he's one of those guys that can just do it in his sleep.
Sickening.
And his average continues to climb. Last 4-hit game was in September of last year. So, and now Seager's up.
So they've had consecutive games with the guy that's had 4 hits.
Yeah, and that's his 33rd career 4-hit game. Last night it was Gamel. Gamel does not have 33, but
he stays here long enough, he might.
Swing and a miss by Seager. It's 0-1.
Seager's got that little bit of confusion working for him today. A long walk after that swing. What changed with the quadricep of Cano in what, 10 hours?
A good night's sleep.
Maybe.
A little treatment. They didn't hit on the field today. They just hit in the cage, and that's where he said he felt fine.
Oh, he's hit on the field all right. He just waited for 107 to start. But you limp off the field when they, it was, close game. You have a short bench. Then you play the next day. Good training staff, I'm imagining.
A magical training staff. Outside, 3-2. Here's last night. He was leaving with that little tweak to the quad.
I mean, could it have been like a cramp or something? And you can understand, but
it could have been. They waited a long time to post their lineup today. Well, Seager had the 9-pitch at bat in his last plate appearance, and he's fouling off a pitch or 2 here. Ball 4. Benoit not happy with himself there. He's put himself in a pretty difficult predicament with runners on first and second and nobody out. Phillies' fantastic auction ends throughout the day this Friday, May 12th. Over 50 once-in-a-lifetime experiences with the Phillies players and alums. The items include a trip for two to see the Phillies play in Colorado, a private hitting clinic with Michael and Andres Blanco, 2018 Fantasy Camp trip, Pete Rose Toyota Phillies Alumni Weekend Experience. For a full list of items and ending times, visit Phillies.com/fantastic auction. It's in conjunction with Sports Radio 94 WIP. So runners on first and second, nobody out. And Danny Valencia, who is 1 for 3, is the hitter. And Benoit is high with that fastball.
I mean, I can translate what Benoit said if you want.
Can you do it one time or?
Yes, just once.
All right, why don't we pick another day?
All right.
1-1.
Someday it'll be allowed.
Someday, that is exactly right. Benoit spent part of last season with the Seattle Mariners. Pitched in 26 games for them. It did not fare all that well. There's a line drive base hit to right field. That's going to go all the way to the scoreboard. Cadeau's going to shuffle home. Seager to third, and he'll be held there. It'll be an RBI double for Valencia. And the Mariners go on top 4-3. Well, Valencia now 15 hits in his last 43 ABs. And Heredia is coming up. Well, just popped it the other way. And Mack will head out to the mound. Bob McClure. Boy, it has been a struggle for the Phillies bullpen recently. They came in with a 4.12 ERA, which was essentially middle of the pack in Major League Baseball. Boy, if you run over Casey Candell right now, he's not going to feel it. You may feel it.
Like RoboCop over there. And it's only 3 hitters.
Well, he dropped one.
Jeez.
You got to bring a basket out or something.
No kidding.
Or a
That'll be
bag.
next. Sponsored by Acme Markets, a shopping cart to put all the gear in.
Just leave it right there.
And you have a long inning. That poor bad boy's going to be weighted down, having to run to first base every other hitter to get something.
Midfield is now in with the Mariners up by 1. And Heredia fouls it back. It's 0-1. Heredia spent 6 years playing baseball professionally in Cuba. Hit .285. He eventually defected to Mexico. He didn't play baseball for 2 years before the Mariners signed him. Listed at 26 years old. No balls and 2 strikes. He does jump, doesn't he?
Yeah, he leans into him. He's trying to cover that outside corner. The problem is you throw one in, like you saw Eflin try to do, and it hits him.
Fly ball, shallow left field. Altair comes running in. Seager's about 3 steps off the bag, so he will not tag.
That's big right there.
Yes, it is. And now Dyson is up. Still play the infield in, I would think.
Yeah, without question, you're going to play the infield in, but do you walk him to get to Carlos, who's struggling?
You could do that.
But Dyson's struggling too, and but the issue you have here with Dyson, even though the infield's in, is the bunt. The Kansas City Royals weren't a big power hitting team, so they had to manufacture, so their guys bunted with runners on third. Safety squeeze. But then the issue is, let's say you walk Dyson and Carlos pops up. Guess who's coming out to hit?
Yeah, Nelson Cruz, who's already got a helmet on, got a bat in his hand. You surprised he didn't play today?
Yeah, I thought he would. I
guess they just don't feel like he could play the outfield.
Wow, that's. Well, I mean, that might have been one of those we're going to see. First pitch squeeze. Throw it so far that Dyson outside that Dyson can't reach it. I mean, Knapp was almost. That would have been behind a right-handed hitter where Knapp was set up, it seemed like. They might keep doing it to see if they can get Seager to commit. Look how far Knapp is out.
Yeah, that's way off the plate, 2-0. Now they may put him on. Yeah, they're going to walk Dyson intentionally. I think Dyson's a little surprised by that. And Carlos is going to step to the plate.
How many intentional walks do you think Jared Dyson has had in his career?
Well, that's a good question. That's got us going now. We'll take a look at that.
Now here's another thing. Because Benoit had to force himself to throw that ball away from Dyson, the risk of trying that again and hitting Chooch, we don't need that.
That is the 5th intentional walk of his professional career. First one this year, 2 last year. Carlos takes outside. I thought maybe they would have Cruz bat here with the bases loaded and then have Go Switch bat for the pitcher and come into the game. But that would just leave them with Mater on the bench. Not that it mattered last night. And a liner out toward left center field. On the run is Altair. He's not going to get it. It is a one hop off the base of the wall. 1 run is in. Valencia will score. Dyson coasts home. A 3-run double for Carlos Ruiz. And the Mariners have busted it open. They now lead it 7-3. Carlos' second double of the year, and that is a backbreaker.
It is a backbreaker. Command of Joaquin Benoit hasn't been good this inning, and there's another one. He tried to get it away, tried to get a rollover grounder to the middle infield, tried to get a double play and get out of this inning. And that ball just came back over the center of the plate. We mentioned it, clutch. How many big hits he's had as a Philly, and that's his first big hit as a Seattle Mariner. And this is what I'm surprised that they're letting Cruz hit now.
Yeah, you got a 4-run lead.
Got a base open.
0-1.
Once that ball left the bat, you knew 3 were scoring at least, because Dyson had a huge lead, great secondary lead, and then an easy read off the bat.
1 ball, 1 strike. Well, Carlos at second after the clutch double. Two and one. Coming into this inning, right-handed hitters had been 0 for 20 against Benoit. And then Valencia got the double to right, and Ruiz got the double to left center field. Way outside, ball 3, 3-2. And ball 4. Ramos has been throwing in the bullpen, so here comes Pete McCann, and that's going to be it for Benoit. So a pitching change here at Citizens Bank Park after the Mariners score 4 runs in the inning. Yeah, they take a 7-3 lead here in the top of the 7th inning. Ramos is coming in. And we'll be back right after this. Phillies take on the Colorado Rockies. That's 7:05 start, and all fans coming to the ballpark will receive the free Phillies cap. It's Tampa respiratory night. Go to Phillies.com to purchase your tickets today for the Phils and the Rockies. Rockies playing some good baseball, surprisingly. And I say that only because the pitching staff traditionally struggles, but haven't struggled as much this year. Well, Joaquin Benoit had a real tough 7th inning. He retired only 1 hitter. The 2 runners on base are his responsibility, and Ramos will take over for the Phils. He's got Ruiz at second base, and Miranda, who started last night, is on the pinch run for Nelson Cruz, and he's at first base. Fly ball center field, not deep, playable for Odubel. And there are 2 gone here in the 7th. And Ramos now will face Ben Gamel, who struck out his last time up.
Really need that grand slam now, don't we?
Yeah.
Well, let's get out of this first
to make sure that the grand slam is within reach. Three balls and no strikes to Gamel.
Go 3-0 to possibly walk him, load the bases for the guy that's 4 for 4.
What you're saying is that you, even though Gamble's hot, you got to challenge him. Yeah.
Yeah, it's. I mean, it's pick your poison, but.
And there's ball 4. So the bases are loaded, excuse me, for the guy that is 4 for 4. By the way, that's the 4th walk in this inning for the 2 Phillies pitchers. You talk about, 3 runs or fewer, 3 walks or fewer. Phillies have had more games where they're giving out more free passes. Well, here is Cano. Cano has singled, homered, singled, and singled. So 4 for 4, 2 runs scored, 2 RBIs. And a breaking ball, 0-1. Ten career grand slams. Good play by Knapp to smother that pitch.
That was a split.
Fastball. Was it a split?
That thing, it wasn't something hard. It didn't go very far. Didn't carry quite the 60 feet 6 inches necessary to be called a strike. Oh, man.
Cano is the 10th man of bat in this 7th inning. He's a little concerned about getting a pitch inside to Cano. Everything's toward the outside part of the plate.
That's dangerous because he's already hit 1 homer to left field today.
And there's ball 4. And he just walked in a run. 5 walks in the inning for Phillies pitching. And the bases remain loaded. Kyle Seager's coming up, and the Mariners lead it 8-3 as Ruiz crosses the plate.
And either a lot of people are thirsty or a lot of people are hitting the exits. So not a good time for a bathroom break, so I'm assuming it's one or the other.
Yeah, unfortunately, I think you're right.
If they came here to see Chooch stick around, he might hit again this inning if we don't start throwing strikes.
All right, Seager's up. He walked his first time up. Three hits and 5 walks in the inning. Seager takes a strike, 0-1. Bases are loaded. 1 ball, 1 strike to Seager. And now 2-1. 2-2. Fans are getting a little feisty. I don't know if you can blame them.
Yeah, it's a tough inning to watch.
Yeah, 5 runs, 3 hits, 5 walks. And he got him. And the inning is finally over. 11 men came to the plate in the inning. 40 total pitches. Carlos Ruiz had the big swing. It was right around all the walks that were issued. Ruiz's 3-run double has opened the ball game up. A 5-run 7th inning for the Mariners. They lead it 8-3 as we stretch here at Citizens Bank Park. Take on the San Francisco Giants. It's a 4:05 first pitch. After the game, stay for a free post-game concert featuring the Grammy-nominated band the Avett Brothers. Your game ticket is your concert ticket. No additional purchase necessary. Tickets are on sale now at Phillies.com/the Avett Brothers. Phillies are going to have a couple of concerts after games this year. Carlos Ruiz, a 3-run double, has helped the Mariners to an 8-3 lead. And now Carlos will watch as Cesar Hernandez will lead it off against Mark Zabczynski. Zabczynski, the veteran, in his 14th game, 6 strikeouts and 8 1/3 so far. Away, 1-1. Zabczynski's been a fairly durable left-handed pitcher for a while. 1-2. I don't know if Cesar saw that ball.
I don't think he picked it up too well out of the hand.
Jake Thompson's warming up in the bullpen for the Phillies. Tried the same pitch and it's low. There's Jake.
I don't know why everyone decided to use that same mound in the bullpen. They didn't like the other one, or
instead of switching over to the near side one. Well, I would think that you'd want to change your luck up a little bit and go dirty up the other one. Look at that. It's pristine.
It is. Look at it. It's beautiful.
There's only one lefty in the pen for the Phils, and that's Joely Rodriguez. He's not going to pitch today, so. Over the Phillies dugout and out of play. 3-2. Duble's on deck. Fly ball center field, not deep. Dyson, the glasses on, puts it away for the first out. And that'll bring Odubel Herrera to the plate. Well, the Phillies still have 8 outs to go in this one, so they have time to make up this 5-run deficit. But this has been a very difficult stretch, not only offensively, but also from a pitching standpoint, that they have to sort of rectify as they get on this long road trip. I mean, it's not like they're facing some easy pickings.
No, not on the road trip, but you know, Eflin pitched well.
Little bloop out toward left, and Heredia can't get it. It bounces past him. Odubel's heading to second base and is there sliding. And he'll be credited with a double, his 10th of the year.
Odubel gets jammy. He trying to get his hands in, and Heredia makes a gallant effort. You're up 8-3, take a shot, you know, but give Odubel credit to get into second base. You know, I think if you're in that dugout, you're saying, look, their bullpen hasn't been very good. Well, you know, yes, we're down 5. Is it insurmountable? No, it's not.
Yeah, their bullpen's still 28th in Major League Baseball with an ERA of 5.25. Now, they've allowed 1 earned run in 7 innings of work in this series. Altavilla and the bullpen warming up. They have walked 5 though and have allowed 7 hits. Off speed pitched, 1 ball 1 strike. That's the thing, you know, yesterday the Phillies
a hit an inning and 5 walks.
11 hits yesterday, 7 walks issued by the Mariners pitching staff. Now they scored 9 runs.
Yeah,
I think that would be enough.
You would think, but
Tapper foul as the backswing hits Ruiz. 1 ball 2 strikes.
he's never taken to the hockey mask, has he? The goalie
No.
mask.
I don't even think he's ever tried it. Outside, 2-2. Voltaire hit a 3-run home run in the 3rd that tied the game up at 3. That's all the Phillies have managed from a scoring standpoint. Check swing and a little bouncer to the right of the mound. 1-3 on the putout. Over to third goes Herrera. 2 outs here in the 7th. And Michael Saunders walks to the plate. Saunders is hitless in 3 at bats. He's popped out, flied out, and grounded out. No balls and 1 strike. Can Houston run away with this division the way the Nationals are running away with the East right now?
Even without Cole, though, I Cole Hamels in Texas. I still think Texas has a run, and you know they got issues early with their bullpen, and they get those straightened out. They're going to score runs. I mean, that's, you know, Adrian Beltre's been out. Is he back yet? I don't even know if he's back yet, but he was out for the first, I know, for the first 2 or 3 weeks of the season.
Yeah, the Hamels injury, that does hurt. Off the hands, out of play. Well, we're going to have a pretty good understanding of whether the Rangers or the Angels or somebody is able to keep pace with the Astros, because we'll see them all during the course of the season. Check swing. Did he go? Yes, he did, says the home plate umpire. Saunders, I think, disagrees with that call, but he'll head back to the dugout before he heads back to his position. No runs, 1 hit, 1 man left in scoring position. Phillies down by 5 as we go to the 8th inning. Is brought to you by your Delaware Valley Honda dealers. Hurry to your local Del Val Honda dealer. Visit DelValHondaDealers.com. And by McDonald's. Now at McDonald's, an ice cold delicious soft drink is only $1. I'm loving it. Phillies trail at 8-3 as we move to the top half of the 8th inning. Time now for a Hyundai defensive play of the game. And for a good part of this series, Ben Gamel could do no wrong.
Yeah, that was a tough one right there, because the wind had started to pick up. That ball started hooking away from him off the bat of Andres Blanco, and Gamel stayed with it and barely stayed with it. Looked like it was coming out, but that's our Hyundai defensive play of the game.
Brought to you by your local Hyundai dealers. Jake Thompson takes over on the mound. Ty Kelly is in left. Aaron Altair moves to right. Valencia greets Thompson by smashing one to deep left field, and it is long gone. And it's now 9-3. And amazingly, Valencia here in the 8th inning is a triple away from the cycle. After striking out in his first at bat.
Thompson comes in the game. He just, let's throw a fastball, get ahead. And Valencia said, nah, I don't think so. I'll handle this. Got a good look at it.
Heredia swings and fouls the first pitch off to the right. That was a 419-foot home run by Valencia, his 4th of the year. He's had a 3-hit day. He's raised his average 18 points with his 3-hit day. There's a line drive to left field. That'll be in for a base hit. Well, they're coming out swinging here in the top of the 8th inning. Dyson hits one to right center field. On the run is Altair. Back toward the wall. It is off the top of the wall. Rounding third and heading for home is Heredia. Dyson speeding to third, and he's there sliding. An RBI triple It is now 10-3 Mariners. Got to get these guys off Jake Thompson's fastball, I think.
Well, he's thrown 4 pitches this inning. Homer, single, triple.
This man can run.
Yeah, well, that's
not running really there.
No, he
going.
Yeah, watch his gear though. Look at the strides, how long. Man.
Midfield is in for Carlos, and he takes a breaking ball. He basically just took a Sunday stroll up the first base line.
Well, he knew it wasn't going to be an inside the park homer, so let's just stop at third.
Carlos to right center field. Altair gets to the spot. Tagging from third is Dyson. He'll score standing. And Ruiz has a sac fly and 4 RBIs today against his former team. He had 1 RBI coming in. Taylor Motter is the last man off the bench besides Go Switch for the Mariners.
Tell you what, that might be the quickest 3 runs I've ever seen. What's he got? 8? He's got 8 pitches.
Yeah, it is a blink of the eye.
3 runs and 6 pitches. I guess one thing you say is command's better than the other guys were, but
oh, they had a plan going up. They were hacking.
Must be the scouting report on Thompson as he throws strikes.
There's a line drive foul. 2-2. Nice play off the Karen. There's a Mariner fan that's going to keep that one. Be pretty happy about it. Very neat.
What's the squigglies things? What?
Out to center field. Herrera makes the catch. 2 outs, Odubel.
What are those squiggly things? Like, what is that? What are these?
I think that's a pitching change.
Oh yeah, when Cano hit, when they batted around.
Oh, I see what he did. Instead of starting,
that's ingenious.
Okay, so instead of starting, like crossing out,
I just
8, making it 7.
Yeah, that's what I do.
Yeah, that's what I do too.
But to be honest with you, I'm done.
You're not going to score the rest of the game. You're just going to write notes on it.
I'll write you notes.
1-0 pitch to Segura. 2 balls and no strikes.
That was pretty nice. That was very.
Yeah, that showed that
done.
And everybody has different techniques on how to score. He has different techniques on where he's putting certain things. Segura to shortstop. Galvis is up with it. Inning is finally over. But 2 more runs score, a home run and a sac fly and a triple. 3 runs score in the top of the 8th inning. It's 11-3 Mariners on top. And Ben Davis are standing by to get you up to date on what's going on around the world of the Phillies. Recapping today's game, analysis and highlights on Pure Auto Insurance presents Phillies post-game live. What do you think the first question you're going to get on the post-game show, John?
Well, it can go anywhere.
What do you want the first thing them to ask you?
What we had for lunch?
Ben, I hope you're listening. Michael, recap Johnny's lunch day. It was going well until the 7th inning. There's a liner by Tommy Joseph, and he'll get the bottom of the 8th inning rolling with an extra base hit, as he'll pull into second with his second hit of the day. Now 10 for his last 27, which is lifting his batting average up a little bit, and that's a good sign. Andres Blanco is due up. Let's check in with Greg Murphy. Murph.
All right, thank you guys. Time for our unlimited baseball break presented by T-Mobile. Been a tough week for the Miami Marlins. Shortstop Denny Echeverria goes down today with on the DL with a strain in his abdominal cage, and he is the third infielder this week that the Marlins have lost. They also lost Martin Prado. He hurt himself earlier in the week. He is on the DL, expected to miss a month. And also Miguel Rojas broke his thumb earlier this week. He is expected to miss, he's on the 60th DL, so he's going to miss a couple of months. So it has been a tough month in Miami for the infielders. Also happening late last night on the West Coast, Albert Pujols hits number 596 as he creeps a little bit closer to 600. Trying to become the 9th guy in Major League Baseball history to go over 600 home runs. So he's getting there. He's got 4 more to go, guys.
4 more to go for Albert Pujols. What a run he has had. 3-1 on the putout. Over to third base goes Tommy Joseph. Think about that contract that he signed with the Angels. How St. Louis, just let him go.
Yeah.
Figured, all right, we're going to fill in with others, and it's worked for them.
Yes.
But as it turns out, it's a lot of money for Pujols, but he has produced, particularly the first couple of years and the last couple of years.
Yeah, people look at it and say, wow, gosh, he's having a bad year, but then he ends up with 30 and 100. Is that a bad year?
No,
I mean, for him, his yearly averages, it's not what he was when he was younger, but still pretty good.
That's going to hurt his hand.
But, I go back to Buck Showalter because I talk to him a lot. I view him as a very intelligent baseball person, and he always tells me, you can't let stars fall on you. And, some people think that that's what happened with the Phillies. They held on to, some of their veteran stars too long.
Freddie Galvis bounces one left side. That'll get a run home. And it's now an 11-4 game.
St. Louis, they had to make a tough choice.
They did.
I mean, he was an iconic player in St. Louis, and they had to make a tough choice, but they weren't willing to go 10 years. And
Yankees with Cano. Now, Cano was younger at the time. But they didn't want to go. Well, no. I don't think they could go. Well, they could go, but I didn't think they didn't feel like they would choose to go 10 years like the Mariners did.
I mean, 10 years. I mean, you think about it. That's in baseball. That's
a decade.
Baseball's like 2 decades, but so much can happen in 10 years. It's like some people in the Cardinals and Yankees. They said, if someone gives them 10 years, then we're happy for them and go get it. But we're not going there.
Upstairs, 1-1 to Andrew Knapp. Ty Kelly waiting on deck.
Now, if you're Mike Trout and he's a free agent last year, you can see someone giving him 10 years because what would he be, 35 or 36 when that 10 years is up?
I still think that when his contract is up, somebody's going to give him, or he's going to look for 10 years.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
I think I think when he's going to go where he thinks he has a chance to win and where he's happy.
2-1 pitch. Swing and a miss. 2-2.
I know he's an Eagles fan. I've seen him at Eagles games.
Certainly has made it clear that he likes his Eagles season tickets. 3 balls, 2 strikes to Knapp. Knapp has walked twice today, and he's grounded out to second base. And a line drive base hit it to center field for Knapp. So he's been on base 3 times today. And Ty Kelly will hit for the first time today. He had a sac fly as a pinch hitter in yesterday's game.
Thought he hit that ball out. When it left the bat, I thought he hit a homer.
That's a bullet to right field, and it is a fair ball that pounds off the wall. Knapp to third. He'll be held there. It's a double for Ty Kelly. Well, he got around on that pitch nicely.
Yeah, he put a charge into that one. I'm surprised Superman Gamble didn't fly over there and dive and catch it. But yeah, what a pretty swing, and you gotta love it too. No waiting around. Throw you something good, let it fly, young man. And what, he's hit 2 balls pretty good the last 2 nights.
Let's get these 2 runs in. Would still be a 5-run game, but a little light for the Phils offense. Slider, and it's 0-1.
He's had some funny swings today, hasn't he?
He has. I think in the last couple of games.
That was. Maybe he'll try to throw the same one and bounce it at his feet.
He did throw the same one. It was up a little bit more.
I mean, if it ain't broke, right? Might as well go in there again.
He did try to go in there again. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Two and 2 to Cesar. And he fouls it back to stay alive.
Well,
stranger things have happened there, Johnny.
My goodness.
Off the third base line, Seager. And he runs out of room. That guy didn't. And it remains 3 balls and 2 strikes. Good day to take a half day from work and come out and watch the ball club, even though they're down. And again, a foul ball.
The boys keep battling, don't they? After the first 2 pitches, I thought, well, this is going to be a quick at bat for Cesar, but he's extended it.
Another foul ball. Recedes the pitches. Knapp is at third base. Ty Kelly's at second base. And now the 3-2 pitch coming to Hernandez. Outside, ball 4. That'll load him up. And Odubel Herrera is coming up.
You just never know.
You never know. Mel Stottlemyre out to the mound.
Sure, that's the last thing Mel Stottlemyre thought he was going to have to do when this inning started. All right, we're winning 11-3. Shouldn't have to go to the mound anymore. I can unlace my shoes.
Or even have somebody warm up. Mariners, after this ball game, they will head to Toronto for a 4-game set. They have enough guys in the bullpen, but they'd probably prefer to just do 1 inning apiece. Hard job to be a hitting coach or a pitching coach. You have so many different personalities that you have to deal with, and so many different styles that you have to deal with. Odubel doubled his last time up. Phillies trailing it by 7. But the bases loaded with 2 outs. And a foul ball toward the sweet level.
Like it went in one.
I think it startled somebody who wasn't really paying attention. That'll happen. No balls and 2 strikes. Little hop and a skip, and it's ball 1. There's bullpen action for the Seattle Mariners.
Yeah, they still have to pitch another inning, so why not? Hey, what do you figure? Like, if he had a Fitbit on Odubel, like just in the batter's box alone, what do you figure? A mile a day?
It would be jumpy, and he throws him the slider, and he strikes out. A run does score. The Phillies leave him loaded here in the 8th inning. We'll go to the 9th inning. Odubel gets his gear and his Fitbit off and heads back to center. the ninth inning. Every time the Phillies pitchers retire the opposition 1-2-3, Comcast will make a contribution to Phillies charities. Phillies baseball is brought to you by Xfinity. Xfinity X1 will change the way you experience TV. All right, so Gamble will lead it off here in the ninth. He walked his last time up. He's walked twice today. He has 2 singles. The first pitch breaking ball is in there, and it's 0-1. Two.
Where were those swings in his first 7 at bats?
He's wearing down. Lefty Overton warming up in the pen. And it's 1-2. Six hits in this series. He's been on base 8 times. He has scored 5 runs. Had a bouncer foul, remains 1-2. He was kind of a throw-in. Yankees acquired 2 minor leaguers from the Mariners for Gamble. And we mentioned he was expected to be a 4th outfielder, and he still could be. Two and 2. Ground ball to first. Tommy Joseph, a nice play, diving toward the line. Thompson covers. 3-1 on the putout, and there is 1 out here in the 9th inning.
Down 7, 9th inning, and you're still playing hard. And that, you know, if you're Pete McCannon and Larry Bow, you love it, but look at this play by Tommy. Good jump. See how he kept his glove low to the ground the whole time. Look how low his glove is to the ground. You know, it's always over, never under is the general rule. You don't want the ball to go over your glove, or never go under your glove. If it bounces over, nothing you can do. But Tommy with a really good play right there.
That's our GMC precision play of the game. Robinson Cano, the batter, and he whacks it to the right side. Thompson can't get it, but Tommy Joseph does, and then shovels it. Back-to-back 3-1s, 2 outs. And they finally get Robinson Cano out, who had reached base safely in each at bat today. And Kyle Seager will stroll to the plate. Seager is 0 for 3 with an RBI and a run scored. And he's 2 for 8 in this series. Outside, 2-0.
All the way back. It's got to be frustrating for Pete, Bob McClure, Larry Bow, the whole coaching staff's just.
Yeah, 4 runs on 9 hits, but your pitching staff has given up 11 runs on 15 hits.
And how many walks? +1.
Yeah, +1. Phils are also 1 for 9 with runners in scoring position today.
That 1 inning, if it wasn't for shifts, the infield wouldn't have moved.
7 walks issued now by the Phil's pitching staff with that last one, and Valencia takes down and away. Included in that was the 5-walk inning in the 7th. It's the first time since 2012 that the Phillies pitchers have done that. They did that in a game against the Tampa Bay Rays. Outside 2-0. Valencia smashed a home run to left field against the Phils his last time up, and against Jake Thompson. That's a hot shot, base hit it to left center field.
Well, no triple.
No, but a rocket of a base hit.
We thwarted another cycle attempt.
That's 4 hits for Valencia and 16 hits for the Mariners. And now Heredia is coming up. And Heredia has a couple hits today, 4 overall in the series. Mariners win today. It'll be the first time that they've reached the 500 mark this season. Think about that, though. They've done that with really their entire rotation busted up. Their pitching rotation. I mean, everybody has injuries, but they're doing this with only one guy that was projected to be a starter in the rotation right now in Gallardo. Win 5 innings today.
Felix Iwakuma.
Mm-hmm. Three balls, no strikes.
Drew Smiley in there.
Supposed to be. He's banged up.
Who's in their rotation?
Three balls, one strike to Heredia. Fly ball right field. Aaron Altair will lay back on it. Couple steps from the track, makes the catch. No runs, 1 hit and 2 men left. Last chance for the Phillies as we go to the bottom of the 9th inning, trailing at 11-4. It's a delivery of the game. Well, Carlos Ruiz wanted to make an impact, and he certainly did.
Yeah, it's been a struggle offensively for Carlos so far this season, but that bases clearing triple ended up with 4 RBIs on the day, but that put the game out of reach for the Seattle Mariners so far.
Phillies will see him just like they'll see the rest of these Mariners at the end of June when the back end of this interleague home and home will take place. So we go to the bottom of the 9th inning. Phillies trail it by 7. Dylan Overton will be the new pitcher. Overton just made his first major league start. That was back on the 7th of May. And he is on in his 6th ball game, a 5.06 earned run average. Pitched for Oakland last year. It didn't go all that well. 11.47 ERA. No, we talked about the struggles of the Mariners bullpen coming in. I mean, they've walked 6, they've allowed 10 hits, but they've only allowed 2 earned runs in this series. And here's Aaron Altair. Altair is 1 for 3 today with a 3-run home run. 2 3-run home runs in this series. And the first pitch on the outside corner, 0-1. Curveball whacked out toward left field. That's deep, and it is not coming back. Second home run of the day, and a long one for Aaron Altair. And he now has 7 home runs on the year. And the Phils make it a 6-run game. Well, you're going to have to write Aaron Altair's name in if you want him to be an all-star, but he is playing like an all-star in this first month plus of the season.
Without question. And what a, look, even though the Phillies have been struggling to win games lately, this is something positive to build on. Look at this hanging breaking ball by Overton, and that's just a guy that's going well, seeing it well, and you make a mistake, you hang him, we'll bang him. That was a hanger.
And now Franco will pinch hit for the pitcher's spot. The pitcher Jake Thompson. Franco off today, hitting just above 200 on the year. That one's hit well out to center field, but Dyson will roam back. And he puts it away a step from the track. That's the second multi-home run game of Aaron Altair's career. First one came in September of 2015 against Washington. One of them was an inside the park home run for Altair.
I think that inside the park home run, no one can hit it out of the park in the home run too, but it just shows you how the athletic ability of this young man.
I mentioned the other day the story that Jim Salisbury from CSN Philly wrote. Dad was a professional soccer player over in Germany. That ball was hit well out toward left center field. Dyson going back, and it is gone. Solo home run for Tommy Joseph, who has a 3-hit day. The Mariners are throwing it back in, but the second base umpire, Larry Vanover, ruled home run. It hit the stairway just above that small fence. Tommy with his 4th home run. Let's take a look at it again. I actually hit one of the chairs, that one chair.
That fan out there thought, man, I'm the only one here.
How can I not grab it?
How can I not get that one?
And now Blanco the batter, and he takes low. 11-6, the Phillies down by 5. As we head toward the 4-hour mark in this game. Blanco, 1 ball, 1 strike. 6 runs on 11 hits now for the Phils.
not got Coach of the Year for nothing with that bit of advice.
Hot shot towards second, picked by Robinson Cano. 2 outs. And now Freddie Galvis, the last chance for the Phillies here in the bottom of the 9th inning. Our next telecast will be Friday when the Phillies take on the Nationals, 7 o'clock on CSN.
Have we played them yet?
We're going to wrap up our first half schedule against the Nationals and see them again in September. Galvis takes a strike 0-1. And we will see you on the next homestand. Is that right? Is that when you're coming back?
Colorado and.
Yep.
Drawing a blank. I'm already focused on the Rockies.
One ball and 1 strike. Colorado, then Cincinnati.
Cincinnati, we've had them. Joey Votto, Adam Duvall, how we doing?
Over to third, and Seager's got it, and the ball game is over. The Mariners take this 2-game series for the Phils, take both games in this 2-game set against the Phils. The Phils couldn't quiet Robinson Cano. They couldn't quiet Ben Gamel. Cano is our Chevrolet Player of the Game as the Mariners win it by a final score of 11-6. Carlos Ruiz, well, we'll hopefully see him at the end of June in Seattle. He had a big day today with 4 RBIs in his return to Philadelphia. The fans really embraced him in the only way they could here in Philadelphia. 11-6, the final score. We'll be back to wrap things up right after this.